what powers cowards to get them to the top.
Welcome back, episode 90 of Revisited, and it's a little revisit of a person we've done and haven't done for a while, on top of a topic that we haven't done for a little while. At least I don't think we've done Demon Slayer for a little while.
We definitely haven't. Probably since Demon Slayer month. No, I'm sure we did something after that.
Maybe
doesn't matter. There's literally no way that we can ever check.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
Gone forever. We are talking about the glory of one zappy boy, in parentheses, Demon Slayer, by one Nux Taku. Yeah, everybody should know Nux by now. If this is your first time with us and Revisited and Nux, it's never been good. Never.
He's going through some stuff right now.
Is he? Oh, still with the stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
It's rough stuff.
Description, boys.
Zenitsu from Demon Slayer / Kimetsu no Yaiba is an overpowered character, but still a beautiful boy that we must protect with memes. All right, we're done.
Yeah, I don't think we need to watch this.
Yeah, we're done. I don't know
This
what
might be
his
a gong.
first word is gonna be. I don't like how it's just an earth.
Yeah, there's not even much to say here.
Other than Zenitsu is like legitimately bottom 5 character of all time for me.
All time? That's a little
despise
harsh.
him.
I understand.
Who's
that? I can't
3
give you
worse.
I can't give you any. But
I can't dispute it. I can't fight for it. I can't fight against it.
I feel like it's too recently biased towards him.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's piss annoying.
Absolutely.
Dude, legitimately, the very end, him just turning to a camera and just going, I'm a different person now.
I have to do this on my own, Tanjiro.
3-page development garbage, and people are clapping for that. What is that?
Because what matters is the development, not how it was showcased.
That's literally not what it is. There's so much that goes into it.
Hey, how many times do you hear the show has good character development as opposed to there's character development?
A lot.
Okay, then. So the issue, the thing with them that they're praising isn't the fact that it's poor character development. They're praising that it is character development.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm simply saying, as we do constantly, it shouldn't be like that.
It should not be that way.
We should be thinking, we shouldn't just be happy that we got something. We should be worrying about if it's a good thing that we got.
And it's so weird to me because how often do they consume something where they get nothing to where anything is a worthwhile, this is good because there is character development. How many things have you read or watched with no character development? To where you just go, the fact that it's done is good for me.
And do they equal out? Does somebody like a Bakugo, who's got a lot of character development, equal somebody like a Tanjiro, who's gotten minimal character development, but he's not a character that necessarily needs to change, but he has gotten the character development? Does it equal out because development equals development?
Yes.
Where there are layers and tiers?
There's definitely better character development, but I don't think people are going to go worse character development. I think they're just going to say no character development.
It shouldn't be like that.
And it's the weirdest way to go about analyzing media, and I will never understand it.
Going off the rails with that one.
I mean, because we know what's coming, and we just don't want to. We see the chair.
This is...
Let's get into it.
Majority of people on this planet, I would say, are a big fan of pussies. So, in order to reach a much wider audience with this...
Like, what do we do here?
Is there even anything going to be worth talking about?
Your average Nux fan, what do you envision them as?
10-year-old.
I was thinking more 14.
I feel like 14 could be possible, but I feel like 10 is right on the cusp of that gross out, just hearing naughty words humor, as opposed to 14-year-olds they're definitely still firmly in the camp, but they might not laugh as frequently at just going, there's a cat on the screen after saying the word. See, they might laugh at the cat on top of pussy, whereas a 10-year-old will just laugh at the word itself. And I feel like that's what he caters to.
I'm feeling like it is the 14-year-old who is on the cusp of self-realization, where they are the people that they are the people that every JoJo post is just like, you thought this was going to be a JoJo post, but it was me, Dio, and they constantly do that over and over. That's the type of person I think this is. And then, like, a year or two down the line, that realization is just like, time for a change, and they tone down the meme, and they tone down the watching of Nux.
See, I disagree with that, because I feel like with at least the Dio post you were talking about, it's less so your age and more so your lameness. No, your lameness. Because it's a lame meme. It's a lame joke at this point. But your first inclination in your mind is going, Dio!
No, but it's whatever the flavor of the month meme is. That's what, just insert the Dio meme into whatever the big meme for the kids are, because I don't know what.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I don't know what they're memeing about.
Yeah.
I learned about touch grass literally earlier last year.
There's no way.
What?
There's no way. I think Phil said it.
No, the first time I heard touch grass was when me and Gavin were talking to an old girl through Twitter about what was it? Carrot and Yamato joining. And that was the first time. I was like, I love that. And Gavin was like, yeah, it's just a common put down.
It's old. It's so old.
Never heard it in my life, dude. And it's so funny that, what is this video about?
Because we're gonna be sitting here listening to Nux, so we might as well get something out of this, because Nux is just gonna say stuff and then it's gonna just wash over us, because who cares?
It's so interesting how often people will go, yeah, that's a super popular blank. And someone else would just go, I have literally never heard this thing. And you would think that, because you've consumed that thing so much, like the touch grass thing. You've consumed it so much that it's just washing over you. Oh yeah, everybody knows that. But not everybody knows it. That's why I've always brought this up, where I'll go to an anime or a video game channel or whatever, and they'll have 1.3 million subscribers, and I'll go, I have never heard of this person in my life.
Understandable with that. That might not be your genre or whatever, but surely just being on Twitter, seeing arguments or whatnot.
My arguments are mostly FGC people, and even on my timeline right now, I could scroll for maybe 3 hours and never see a touch grass.
It was the EFAP. Hassan was like, eat grass, and they were like, oh, that's a nomenclature of touch grass.
And that's the first time I heard malding too.
Malding, absolutely. That's where I was just like, what's a malding? That was an odd one.
But I think that was post I had already known about touch grass. So
There's no time faders. Real if it was giving $1.50, said they literally went through 15 videos and disliked them. Grown-ass men need to get in touch grass or talk to women. I mean, yeah, this is what they do. This is what I mean. They sit around with nothing to do all day. So they
okay.
No,
Phil,
that was so.
Thank you so much.
That
Phil.
was so quick and out of there.
So very much. What is wrong with you? Say words, you dumb piece of. Oh, that is pure autopilot. You just heard it. They need to just touch grass or whatever. Yeah, and then he just moves on to whatever he was talking about.
So it wasn't even
think about something.
It wasn't even that Phil had said it. He was just regurgitating what someone else said.
I'm going to be discussing overpowered pussies in anime. Not literal pussies, metaphorical ones.
10-year-olds.
14-year-olds.
At Pornhub.
Maybe split the difference and hit 12.
Not literal pussies, metaphorical ones. That Pornhub side gig idea is looking better and better. But now, I'm not talking about any old pussy. Hell no. I'm
10-year-old.
This is, dude. Why? I understand being here for the analysis and for the comedy. We talk about H Bomber Guy so much, but it's effortless. It's disgusting how just bam.
Somebody I was reading something and someone like, this is the first H Bomber Guy video I've ever seen. It was the oof one. He was like, he does a great job of, instead of the video just kind of droning on and you kind of tuning out, right when it feels like you should start tuning out, he'll make a joke or something and you're instantly back in.
Yes. But it's not even like that. Because I've seen that the vaccine was so many times.
Seen that thing. Science Cut alone is one of the funniest things I've seen on YouTube. Have they successfully science cut?
It's so good. But this, it's like,
because
H-Bomb, he has a good mix of like 40, 60, 50, 50, 60, 40. But this just seems more like 95, 5, and then it'll go to 85, 15 sometimes.
But that's where a lot of the younger audience generally gravitates towards. Because that's basically, you look at like Gen Z humor, and there's a lot of just noise and images flashing around. And I'll look at that and I'll go, I have no idea what's funny about that.
I can't speak to that.
But then,
I don't know who's popular.
But then I'll look at Corey watching that stuff and he'll crack up and I'm like, I literally don't know what's funny about this.
Well, Corey doesn't count.
Why does Corey?
Corey is like Phil. It just doesn't count.
He's the anomaly.
Yeah.
Boy, Lightning Pussy from Demon Slayer. Best boy of the season and Mad Lad extraordinaire. I'm also very eager to delve into this topic because there is a dynamic rift when it comes to cowardly anime characters. For me personally, I either love them or I can't freaking stand them.
That's not dynamic. It's just, I love them or I hate them. I don't know what the dynamicism of that is.
Yeah, it's, if they're done well, you can like them. If they're not, you don't.
Your
like
tastes
them.
aren't dynamic. Your taste being dynamic would be like, I love them. I think they're pretty good. They're okay. They're not very good. I hate them.
Is diametrically opposed.
Diametrically opposed.
I want to watch a little bitch. I'm a little bitch. I see myself all the time. No thank you, Shinji from Evangelion. I know he's like the super deep depressed character and whatever, but honestly, I
like how neither of us
bothered
to read that.
No.
Do it on your own time.
Yeah, pause
should
the
you
video.
choose.
do not enjoy when he shats himself. It is not what I'm watching anime for. For that, I watch.
I haven't watched Evangelion.
Same.
But there's got to be more to him than he is crying. There has to be a reason why he's crying.
I mean, he just said he's super deep and depressing. Or depressed.
So that's a very good reason as to why he's crying.
But
it's not like...
The issue is that Nux relates to that, and he doesn't want to see that in anime. I guess he wants escapism, as opposed to something mirror. But then he said Fairy Tail feels like a family. So does he want to be integrated into the series and see parts of himself in the series? Or does he want to disconnect?
Maybe it's just the good parts that he wants to see.
And that's why he likes Zenitsu, because
that's...
he is like that, but he's super strong and cool, actually.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, because it's I would want a straight, not with us, I would want to see a straight interview with Nux. The camera off, the mask
Why
off.
not us?
Because him. But just to see what he believes, because I don't know what he values.
He's always in kayfabe.
Yeah,
You want to see Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock.
You never necessarily know what he thinks is a joke, how much he's playing something up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to see exactly what the traits he thinks are good in a show.
What
or
he
something
values
is. What he
in a piece
values.
of media.
Something.
Hentai. I mean, I never watch that. And it's this dynamic that I personally find very interesting. There is something that comes along with being a
You find it interesting that you love some cowardly characters and hate some cowardly characters.
It's all about how well they're done. It's how
There's nothing-
how well they're integrated. Intricated. My goodness.
Yeah, you tried to do intricate and integrated together. My whole thing is that it's not just stoic characters. Oh, a stoic character I hate or I love. No, I need to see something from you, and if it's done well, I'm interested in that character, not the way I feel about the character. Because I don't like this archetype, but I like this character. No, I just like the character in spite of my dislike of the archetype.
coward very often, and it is this very
Could you
latent
go back?
power. Very often.
Get that full sentence.
Dynamic that I personally find very interesting. There is something that comes along with being a coward very often, and it is this very latent power. Very often you have a very interesting mix between someone who is a massive coward on one hand, while on the other hand, they are ridiculously broken when they actually let loose. There are many ways this can be done well.
I can't think of many others than Zenitsu.
Yeah.
And
Nope.
weak and meek are not the same thing as cowardly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going down the shonens, the Black Clovers, your Yu-Yus, your JoJos, and there's not really any sticking out of my mind. I would like to hear his examples. But
What?
I know. But Zenitsu isn't even broken.
Mm-mm.
He's okay.
He's pretty good.
He has a thing that he can do. If we had seen other lightning breathers, he'd be pissed.
Yeah.
But we don't really see any, so he seems really good with the speed zoom thing.
Yeah. Tanjiro isn't horrible. He's a good water breather. There's just somebody that's better, and we're just like, okay, they're just better. Zenitsu is the only person we see doing this thing, so it looks impressive. But if somebody else, which Tanjiro later does, a variation of, how impressive is it now?
And when it is done well, it is one of my favorite character archetypes, and this is why Lightning Pussy is my favorite character in Demon Slayer.
Okay, can you give examples of other things where this thing happens?
Yeah, he can. Like, the thing where this happens.
It did not happen in the thing.
Whoa. We didn't watch the same thing, clearly.
I watched all things, ladies.
Well, he's gonna explain. Because he's nuts.
What?
He's nuts.
Even memeing, you should not be saying
This
those
is
words.
gonna be at that he's the 1585 is gonna flip to pure 85
Do we
explaining.
gong this video?
We're not gonna gong this video.
Do you think we're gonna? I think we're gonna end up gonging
I
this
think
video.
we're fine.
I think around the 11-minute mark, it's gonna hit
because
hard
I'm not
that we
around
should
that
f***ing gong
11-minute mark, isn't that 5-minute Konosuba thing?
I don't remember
There's
when it
a lot
started.
of Konosuba.
By a long shot. Now, alongside me saying this, I understand that a lot of people do not like Zenitsu,
Maybe
who I will
Konosuba-
continue to call Lightning Pussy.
Maybe Konosuba is the example.
Well, that's two things.
Now, alongside me saying this, I understand that a lot of people do not like Zenitsu, who I will continue to call Lightning Pussy, because honestly, it's a much cooler name. And they find him annoying. His constant babbling, he's always afraid, he's a coward, he's way in over his head.
He's afraid and he's a coward are the exact same thing. No, it's the yelling. It's the one-note character. That's the thing that I do. It's the womanizing. He goes, oh man, you guys got to get touched by girls, and they're literally like 7-year-olds.
It's disgusting. We get to touch them. It's just like, ooh.
part while he is on screen. He is not smart, he is not admirable, and low-key, he looks like he's urinating for 90% of the time he's talking as well.
Where's the comedy in seeing these eyes right now and him screaming?
And it happens so much. It's just over and over and over. I understand the whole thing of repeating jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. Zoro gets lost. Haha, very funny. That happens, what, once or twice in arc? Maybe? When was the last time it happened legitimately? There are like...
Was he running somewhere in Wano, maybe?
There's less than 20 examples in canon of Zoro getting lost. And this is just back to back to back close-up yelling, bulging eyes over and over.
There will go years between a Zoro gets lost joke.
Yes. And this is just, if you find this funny, you're going to find this funny. But if you don't, it's just going to be grating. And how much can you just find the same thing of just yelling, I'm scared? How funny can you find that the 6th time in the same episode? When it's the same close-ups, with you screaming and all that stuff. How funny can you find that? Surely it's get grating after a while, but I can't say that because it was number 1 in the character polls.
Number 1.
So who am I talking about? What am I saying?
To?
I can't. I would
Proof
assume
is not on your side.
I would assume that it would get tiresome.
He's urinating for 90% of the time he's talking as well, which is not attractive. My latest video on Demon Slayer was mostly focused on the core themes of the series, on why Tanjiro is such a perfect protagonist for the series, and how the series absolutely mastered the art of simplicity and every simple
Hey, do you remember 3 sentences he said in that video we did? And we did it over 2 streams.
The theme, family, Tanjiro, Rui,
I
not
said sentences.
Theme. But that's not fair.
Rui is the thematic opposite of Tanjiro. That's a rough theme. I mean, a rough
But
sentence,
the whole, do you remember 2 sentences? That's not fair because I don't remember 2 sentences from this video.
That is fair.
For the series, and how the series absolutely mastered the art of simplicity and every simple...
See, can I stop this though? Mastered the art of simplicity is just people's excuse for it not doing anything remarkable. It is simple, and y'all really like it. So, of course, it had to have mastered the art of simplicity. But then, if you watch something else that's simple, what's the difference and why is that bad? What about its simplicity
is excelling?
Is masterclass?
Note. They explained it so much with Ricardo that you just go, I understand why his simplicity of just a left hook that trims off all the fat that just goes in the straightest, fastest line possible is the most devastating to people.
He jabs, perfect jabs, perfect jabs.
There is a straight line to your face. All these other people are taking curves. No.
Big wind ups.
And it shows it. As in Wally, his fists are near his face. Ricardo is winding up and already hit Wally before Wally could hit him. Because that's the simplicity done so perfectly. This is going to end up being like a top 5. It is. I love it. So, because I keep saying this, but this is exactly what I wanted with Ricardo. This is all that I've ever
he doesn't have some
wanted.
like, oh, here's this special technique you need to... You essentially have to defeat boxing to beat him.
The concept of the purest boxing. You must become boxing to defeat boxing. And then here comes some other person that's going to defeat you because you are now boxing. I love it so, because Ricardo, he just goes, I'm just some dude. I'm just some dude.
And it makes sense that he will remember specific things about people because he ain't got that.
'Cause he ain't
like,
got
it's the
nothing.
Dempsey Roll boy.
Oh, it's that in Wild Caveman. Stuff like that. It's so
I am a lame, just come in and do boxing man.
And he comes in and he do boxing.
That you see how much we explained of why that's good? As opposed to just going, it's simple, but that's what makes it great.
Oh my goodness. But that's the thing about Demon Slayer. They can't really say anything about it. Because so you can just say, yeah, it's a simple story, but that's fine because it's not trying to be anything more than simple. Mm-hmm. That's what it is over and over and over again. Because how do you praise it other than saying that?
But why do you denigrate other series when you just go, it's not doing anything remarkable?
Because this isn't trying to do anything remarkable. It's min-maxing.
Because there's so many times where people are like, oh, make a video on why blank is special. Like, it's not special, it's good. It's not doing anything unique or special or exceptional. It is just doing what it's doing very well. How is that not enough? Why does it need to be unique? And then all these times where it's just, oh, it's doing something different. That's why it's great. It's doing something. Oh, it's doing the same. And that's why it's great. There's no metric for y'all. Because you have no way to explain why something is actually good or bad outside of the most blanketed of terms of simple equal good, unique equal good.
And if you're not challenged by it, then what's the point of explaining?
And so many the fan base does not want to be challenged.
No, of course not. Look at Pretty. 19. 1-9.
Absolutely mastered the art of simplicity, and every simple generic thing is honed so perfectly, it really makes this show shine. So if...
No, it doesn't, dude. It's a very not good series.
Yes. I generic and all this stuff is not my top 10 critiques of the series. I don't care about that type
Oh,
of
you
thing.
can only give 3 though?
Shut the f up. But it's such a meaningless thing because every single story in history, you can point to 5 other stories that do very similar things.
Unless it's the very first story ever created.
Or if you're just going a completely nutso cuckoo story where a dude walks down the street and then a giant duck comes through the story and just goes, you have to not save the world. You have to create the best.
You have to take a dump.
You have to take a dump. And it has to be a completely off the wall story like that in order to not be compared to other things. So what's the metric?
But even then, because people go, oh, there's a MacGuffin here.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this. The designs are like.
But that's where I was about to go. What's the metric when something becomes generic? How many things to compare it to other things where it's just like, okay, now it's generic? Is it just overpowered villains?
Like a slider of unique to generic, and when does it slide enough?
Is one truly generic thing and it being completely unique, is that enough
Dark
to call it
brooding
generic?
rival.
Yeah. But all the other stuff is completely unique. Is it enough to call that generic at that point?
I would assume the character itself is generic, whereas everything else isn't generic.
And it's just the whole term of generic. It's not a critique that I levy.
I'm with you.
It's not one that I levy.
This is a horrible ratio.
It's gonna get better.
If you're interested in a more general take, I highly suggest checking out that video. I will be linking it in the description and at the end. So, on a far more personal level than on the greater scale of the narrative,
I had forgotten this guy.
We never left.
And so, on a far more personal level than on the greater scale of the narrative, I really wanted to talk about Zenitsu, but also the entire trope of anime pussies that happen to be overpowered. Now, there are anime cowards that I like a lot. Simple examples of this being someone like Usopp from One Piece, who has become a meme within the world of One Piece itself, and I respect that entirely. God Usopp, props to you. And part of the reason that he's actually amazing is because despite the fact that he starts off as this lying scumbag that just kind of tags along with Luffy for the fun of it to see if he can be a pirate, he ends up gaining so much heart throughout the series, and he really...
But he wanted to become a brave warrior from the beginning. It wasn't just for the fun of it.
Also, he is really explaining a lot here. Why doesn't he do this for other things?
It's easier to explain this for One Piece.
Essentially, you're doing a synopsis of the character of Usopp.
Yes.
Grows to the point where we all really fell in love with him. I love every time Usopp has this epic speech and bounce of...
No, I don't give a about that. I love Usopp, period.
Yeah, it's not about the epic speech. It's that's a part of it, but it's really just, that is once every couple of arcs. So if you're waiting for that, you're going to be waiting. But Usopp himself is the great...
As every ounce of courage he actually displays is something that was not really present when he was first introduced. And it was clear that all the time...
But it was, though.
It absolutely was.
Him walking up to them and just going and wiping his eyes and going, "Hey guys, what's up?" That is him. That shows courage in and of itself.
I'll take care of this outside of them. I'll create the lie. I'll make it a lie.
He was in there fighting Koro and making the plans and stuff. He always had that inlaid courage within him. The third arc that he was in, the no more pirate bullshit wiping the dirt off against Chew. It was always there. It's just bits and pieces coming out.
With the Straw Hat Pirates that we've known to love, is really helping him grow as a person and becoming more confident on a personal level. Usopp is by no means overpowered. Usopp does, however, learn to stand his ground, and that is something that a coward like he was when things started would have never been able to do. It's this...
He literally stood his ground in the introductory arc.
Yes, he did. He absolutely did.
I don't know what you want.
Yep.
Very clear growth for every cowardly character, because there's no reason to introduce a cowardly character if they're not gonna grow, except for Fugo from JoJo's Part 5, but that was masterful in its own right. And in fact...
But you can't just drop that in here like this.
Everything's just a masterpiece.
You can't just say that.
Everything's masterful.
We're not talking
Everybody
about...
is introduced. Every cowardly character is introduced to be something more eventually, except Fugo, but that was a master thing anyway. Come on.
Was the brilliance of that character, how he failed to grow, but it's this idea of growth that is...
So it's
Fugo
great.
was not a coward.
It's great when a character grows, when a coward grows, but it's also great when the coward doesn't grow. Both are masterpieces.
Generic and unique. Thumbs up.
Oh my god. Everything. When can it be bad? If those... What
is a thing? What is a series that Nux Taku finds bad that he did an analysis on of going, this is very bad and these are the reasons? Because I feel like it would be very much like the Giga Black Clover, where it's more memey than anything.
I know he has a video talking about Deku, but I know he loves My Hero. I don't think he's done too many. Has he done any, like, real negative stuff?
While you're looking.
Ever present in shonen anime, especially and so much more visibly when it comes to a shonen coward. And honestly, it's this pride that we as the fandom feels for these characters that manage to overcome their cowardice that really helps us connect to them. And I mean,
I don't care about connecting to Usopp. I think he's just a good character.
Yes,
I think Finral is just a good character.
It doesn't help me overcome my cowardice. It doesn't help me just go, yeah, this is... He can do it, I can do it too. I get more angry at stuff like that. Because I'm reading a manga called... What is this manga called?
Are you looking for the Nux Taku thing?
The Nux Taku thing is a bust. He has not.
Okay.
It's, why can't Seiji 16-year-old get a girlfriend? It's so good because it's this super rich, super good looking dude, but he just has self-esteem issues. So he's just sitting there in his mind just going, and talk to her, do it, you piece of and then he's walking with the girl like, wait, is this a date? What do I say? Oh, I'm nervous now. I was fine 5 minutes ago. And that type of thing. I'm just like, you dumb pieces, just do it. I'm not like, oh, I can see myself here. I'm like, no, you pieces, stop being a dumb piece of
DA, you do it.
No, it's just like, stop being a dumb piece of and stop overthinking this and do it. I'm not relating to him. I'm not rooting for him. I'm actively chastising him. So stuff like that, when I see Usopp running away, I'm like, dang, Usopp, come on with the Tauntauners. I'm like, come on, you're better than this. And he is.
And he proved that
And he proved it.
Their cowardice, that really helps us connect to them. And I mean, Finral from Black Clover is a masterful example of this. He's someone who had not only been afraid of everything in his entire life, but he had no self-confidence about anything at all. And throughout the series, he actually manages to grow and to get this self-confidence. He's still scared shitless, but he puts himself in crazy predicaments to help the people he cares about. Yep.
And that is the, for the most part, the arc of the cowardly character. You could have just put Usopp in there and nothing changed with his description right there.
You honestly can't put Zenitsu in there.
Yeah.
Because he didn't become braver. He had a thing that he felt was his duty, and then he completed it, and then it was the final arc, and he was asleep again running around. Or the final battle, I should say.
Have someone like Shoot from Hunter x Hunter, a character that honestly is forgotten by so many, despite the fact that his character arc in the Chimera Ant arc was actually fantastic. How the narrator describes that in Shoot's massive battle, even though he was a coward, that Shoot did not even realize this himself. But as he attacked Yuppie, the formation he was using, flying on these floaty, lopped off hands, was actually going to be his secret technique for years to come. He grew so visibly in that one arc that we got to know him, and he honestly became...
Was he a coward? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't remember that being a wide
trait of Shoot's.
Yeah.
If I can remember, he just kind of didn't want to do things.
And I can understand just like in the face of one of the 3 royal guards just being like, no thanks. Once you actually get there and see him, instead of just going, yeah, let's go and fight them. Once you actually see him, it's just like, maybe not.
Yeah, like old dudes whose hair fell out. He was gung-ho, and it's just like, oh, I want no parts of any of that.
Shoot has a timid personality, and
timidness is not cowardly,
and is often afraid of taking advantage of an opportune times to attack an enemy. His prudence makes him a good counterpart to Knuckle, as he counterbalances the latter's impulsivity. He was willing to let thousands of people die for the sake of saving billions of others. When the fight began with Yuppie, he became visibly inspired by Gon and is able to unleash his full power, overcoming his timidness and injuries.
That's not cowardly.
By his own admissions, he does not like hurting others. That is the entirety of his personality section. That is that paragraph is the entirety of his personality.
Yeah, I didn't remember any instance of him just being like, I'm so afraid of the battle or something.
Yeah, and like I said, if it is, then that's up against Yuppie, somebody who can easily behead him. Oh, here we are. This is a Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you just in message people. Corey just messaged in the Discord. So I just finished watching the episode where Shoot is stalking Killua and Gon on the way home from fighting Knuckles. Sorry, not Knuckles. Anyway, he is unable to attack them as he planned, and he begins crying, and the narrator says he's very faint of heart. This series confused me. I can understand why he doesn't like fighting them, but I can't understand why he's crying at first. I assumed it was because he didn't want to make the move, but the narrator comments, I didn't understand what made him faint of heart in this scene. Could anybody explain or elaborate? And then somebody says, Shoot blamed himself for being a coward. He cries because he is unable to fight because of his weakness, which is a fear, and he wanted to fight Gon and Killua, but fear wouldn't let him. I do not remember this.
Yeah, same. Nux may be right. I shrug shoulders.
And he honestly became an integral part to that story. Armin from Attack on
I don't think he became an integral part of the story. I'm not looking this up, but I think he fought Upi and then just went away. I don't think there's anything of note he does post that. I've not seen enough of Attack on Titan to comment on this.
Titan had this growth throughout, and while I still don't love Armin for other reasons, it is apparent, especially in the manga, that he's come ridiculously far. I mention all these as throw-out examples of this, how characters that were originally cowards can grow so much closer to our heart as we ourselves, as the fan base that props them up, is proud of our little cowardly friends. That
Are
they
you
actually
proud?
manage to get over these obstacles that plague them and they can get somewhere amazing. In a nutshell, that is my take on the appeal of an anime coward. But in order to really hone down on this point, and hone down I shall, I'm very excited to talk about Zenitsu.
But you say that that's the appeal of the coward, but you also say that it's fine if they don't grow past that. If they don't,
it's masterful.
because it's masterful in its own way. So how do you square that up?
This is essentially a will they, won't they situation, but it's for bravery. When will they be brave? As opposed to when will these characters, will they or won't they hook up? The mystery, and dude, I legit wrote a script about this bullshit where I am so tired of manga, the whole thing being a will they, won't they, and then they get together and then it's over in a chapter or two. Mm-hmm. Like the crux, the entirety of your manga was, who's gonna get together? I want more than that. I want them together.
I want that middle section.
Yes, I want to see how they connect as people together now, as opposed to people trying to get together. That's why I love stuff like Sweat and Soap, and it's hard to love in Otaku.
And Komi.
If Nagatoro ends the second they're together, I'm gonna be pissed.
Examples of characters that I need to talk about before really delving into why I love a character that is a coward that grows from that point, but it also needs several other criteria. Even though Shinji from Evangelion, Cyrus Truesdale from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, or Yukiteru from Future Diary grew from that point. You know, they started off as a pussy and they had...
Future Diary. DA, Future Diary. He said the thing, DA.
One day. Because Future Diaries. Oh boy.
It's on my manga list.
Oh boy. I wonder if you'll catch that same light switch just off that I did.
Hey, dude, I caught it. I was with you with ReZero.
Man.
It was the same switch.
Where it's just like, oh, this
and
is
you
bad
caught it.
now.
You caught it for me with Death Note. We were on the same page with both of those, so it's a very good chance.
Just hit me up once you finish that, because it's just like, okay, now we're on this path now, and this is not at all what I wanted.
And you know there's so many it's a masterpiece videos out there.
I've not seen any.
There have been nothing clapping for Future Diary?
I said okay. I've not seen
Okay. You haven't looked there.
Yeah.
Because I was about to say, you know, with all those AMVs we saw, all the people talking about it, all the avatars of old girl, you would assume.
It's a yandere archetype, which is very popular.
Mm-hmm. Yandere Dev.
People will see
that game is never getting finished. Shut up, y'all.
Fine. It's fine. But people will see that and they will gravitate towards that because it's an archetype that's not really represented. And this is a show essentially like 26 episodes of that archetype. And if you're into it, drink up, homie.
But like, cuckoldry is barely shown in anime outside of hentai. Are you gonna clap if there's suddenly a cuckold?
If it's to your tastes, absolutely you will. You don't think I'm clapping every time I see a big hat? Cause that is to my taste.
Be clapping for big.
Cause that is to my taste, sir.
There are some very big hats out there.
There are some massive hats, and I'm clapping cause I'm a dumb stinky mark.
So your feeling of hats is basically Dragon Ball's fans' feelings of Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, and people are not liking this new arc already. It's not.
You know
the big
why?
strong.
Because where them fists. Moths should be talking about, this moth's name is Ruler and Filer and all this other.
That's dead.
Come on now. I'm sick
they're in
of it.
school and he's using school. Oh, pencil, sure.
Why? What does this do?
He thinks it's cute.
It's not though.
It's his calling card.
I don't care. Stop!
You want the Phantom Thieves to send out a plain white business card just like, you next.
You know what it is? What's this?
No, you need the actual calling card.
But what does this do to have a dude named Filer in your story?
It doesn't do anything, but it doesn't hurt the story or the character by having them named Filer.
But it doesn't
But it's
help.
a little nudge for long time
It doesn't
fans.
help. I said this before. Big Mom is a dumb piece of who just pops out a kid and it just goes, and I want some cake. That kid's name is Cake now. That explains all their dumb food-based
Pudding.
names. That says everything you need to know about Big Mom. She don't give a so she'll just pop out a kid and it'd be Cookie. But here, you have to sit here and be like, some of them named their kid Pencil?
Do you think there's not people in our world that have named their child Pencil or Ruler?
I didn't say that there's not.
Okay then.
But
now, the
for
issue
them to
is,
coalesce
there
all
you go.
together.
Yes, the coalescence
issue.
is truly the problem there. It's very much like my problem with the end of part 6 where they're all together. Like, what brought Ruler and Pencil together? In the same generation, same classroom, same school, same region of the world.
And it's something like this, it only works in a school setting. Because what if this month just grows up being a mechanic and his name is Pencil? It's dumb. I hate it. Stop. Just stop. Somebody's favorite character is gonna be Pencil.
Nobody's favorite character is gonna be.
It might be.
Has there been any slice of life character in Dragon Ball where people are like, that is my favorite character? Whose favorite character is Eraser? Oh yeah, he was already doing that.
Jesus.
Back in the day, yeah, so he already laid the groundwork for it. How can you be mad? I like how Vidal's just no longer friends with her.
Did you see, yeah, she's dead, essentially. Who cares? Did you
He
see?
might as well be.
Did you see the top 100, for the My Hero, popularity poll?
I saw some of them, and I was so disgusted, I clicked away.
Legitimately infuriating. Because I was just like, where's Gentle? Gentle was like in the 60s, 61. And I went, who was right below him? And I went, Tokuda. Who the f is Tokuda?
And who was Tokuda?
One of the henchmen for Overhaul.
Are you serious? Probably
Tell me
the person that fought Sun Eater or something.
Tell me anything you can about Tokuda. Give me a color.
Purple.
No.
For some reason, Tokuda just flashed purple in my mind. Are they humanoid?
Yes. Oh, my mistake. It was not.
Oh, this might piss you off more.
It does. Tokuda is a freelance journalist working for the Juzo News, a manga publication. He is an anime-exclusive character.
Oh yeah,
And
that
he is
filler dude.
one spot away from f***ing Gentle.
Because people feel like the Gentle arc was an anime exclusive arc.
Who was that in bum that was... It was one of these people around here. Setsuno? Could have been Setsuno.
That did what?
That was a Stain person. Doesn't matter. Who cares? But
What do you mean a Stain person?
not a Stain person. Yeah, this guy. This guy was an overhaul guy.
Oh, yeah.
Setsuno.
How do you know that name?
Because he's 64. 65. 4 spots away from the Gentle Criminal. That guy is somebody's favorite character.
Enough people's favorite character.
Enough people's favorite character. So yes, Eraser is going to be somebody's favorite character.
Point proven. I have no rebuttals.
Grand opening, grand closing.
I underestimated the bummery of the common folk.
You never do.
Gentle at 61 is disgusting. And I'm sure I think Toga was the one where I was like, I do not want to be here anymore.
21.
Outside the top 20 is
Outside, right outside of it. Jiro over her.
She had that cool moment once.
Rhodey's over her. Shut up about Rhodey. He's fine. The top 10 is just the same people just mushed up again. Oh, Kaminari. Not Kaminari. No, it was Kaminari in there as well.
Where's
Sucker
Kaminari?
balls. Sucker balls.
Kirishima.
The
big three.
Bakugo. Hooray. Why even do this? We got it at this point. It's just going to be more disappointments because we got to look at Mirako at 25. When she putting in legit.
She has put in work in multiple arcs.
Man.
Multiple arcs. Where's Midnight? You can't.
Have I missed it? Or is she just not here?
Good.
Oh boy.
Because she ain't dead.
Well, she's dead.
But that's a reason to propel people. Ace is going to keep being in top 10s.
Mount Lady is 85? She held back the big guy.
Doesn't matter. Satsuna.
Midnight is 74.
That's
tied
crazy.
with La Brava and Bakugo's eyebrows.
The assaulting thing there is La Brava.
It's disgusting. It's horrible. So yes, Pencil is gonna. Is there even somebody?
I don't
named
know.
Pencil?
I said pencil. And we just ran with it over the legitimate names of File and Ruler. Because it's so... Yeah, this video.
Makes sense.
Slightly less of a pussy. Wah! I don't feel much.
What? We don't need to watch. Come on. What are we doing here?
This is about to become a because reasons or something.
It's about to be an okie doke when to revisit it.
So now, with the following 3 characters, I will discuss the beauty of an overpowered coward, which strangely seems to rhyme. And
Okay,
2 of the
examples.
following 3 characters will be characters that you probably would never have expected for me to bring up in this video, but they're amazing, prove my point perfectly, and all the following characters are slightly insane to some degree, so I do relate to them on a spiritual level. And the following 3 characters are, as you know, I'll be talking about Zenitsu, and he will be the grand finale of this video, because he is the pinnacle peak perfection of this generic
He
overpowered
talks so
coward
much
archetype.
and
As
says
I've mentioned,
so
Demon...
little.
How many times have we said that, though?
It bears repeating.
Slayer freaking nails the basics to such an insane degree, and the other 2 overpowered cowards that I am going to be talking about are Aqua from Konosuba. Okay, you can sort of get behind that one. And yes, Courage, the cowardly dog. Oh baby, none of you
5 minutes.
It's 6:38.
Yeah, and I said 11 minutes.
Ever thought I was ever gonna talk about him? And
You literally showed images of Courage earlier in this video.
How is he overpowered?
He's gonna explain it.
now, allow me to refer to these three noble warriors, Lightning Pussy, Aqua, and Courage the Cowardly Dog, as the Holy Trinity of powerful pussies. And you thought this was gonna be a normal video? Ha ha!
10-year-old.
14-year-olds on the cusp. It is the roller coaster where they're at the tippity top and then it's just gonna go down and down and down. This is the peak.
Think again, plebeians! And also like and subscribe now that I've called you.
What's he got that other people don't got?
Energy.
Is that all it takes?
Yeah, because how many people... I was listening to... I can't remember what I was looking for recently. I think I was looking for something about Dokkan Battle. And I was watching some videos, and every one of them started with, "What's up, guys? It's your boy!" And that same energy throughout the video, that same speed of talking, that same... I'm up, get up, get hype, get hype. And that's what people look for. And this guy exemplifies a lot of meme energy personified.
But doesn't it get tiring after a while?
I feel like everything gets tiring to everybody at some point. But how many funnel out compared to funnel in?
Because this, I couldn't watch like 2 Nux videos in a row. It's too much.
Yeah, it's way too much. You need a breather.
You're putting ice cream on ice cream at that point. It's like, oh, come pull it back a little bit.
Hey, ice cream is hype.
Okay, but you're putting sherbet on ice cream.
Yeah, you're doing too much. On cookies and cream or something like, ugh.
Plebeians, and I'm sure I have a warm place in your heart. Welcome to Market Strategizing with Nux. If you want someone to do something, first insult them and then ask really nicely. Very cool, Nux Taku. Very cool. First, to briefly talk about...
Very
How
cool.
long do you think this video would be taking out the jokes? Because it's 25 right now.
If it was straight analysis from beginning to end, and not even just taking out, but cutting down the sentences of the joke, at least 15 minutes taken out.
That's where I was going as well.
Courage, then Aqua, then Zenitsu. Even as a kid, when I used to watch and laugh my ass off at Courage the Cowardly Dog, I never connected to Courage's character, and that's the first and foremost important thing I'm trying to draw out from mentioning him here. Courage is...
You surely protecting your loved ones, not wanting to see them harmed. Doing things thanklessly, doing things outside of your comfort zone. Surely, these things. Being a bit of a worrywart, a neurotic person. I don't see how you wouldn't connect to Courage.
If you're looking to connect.
If you're looking to connect.
Because you seem like a very connecty person. I am not a connecty person.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't give a crap. It's I care more about characters, not seeing myself in them or traits that I see or traits that I want to aspire to. None of that. I just like seeing people do dumb things.
In a predicament with his two owners, hubby and wifey. Hubby is the epitome of a dick, and wifey is the epitome of wholesome. So this very interesting dynamic and marriage that is somehow working out, which defies all of fiction, is constantly getting interrupted by these really wacky, supernatural, terrifying phenomena that it's up to Courage, the Cowardly Dog, to protect them.
He says that it defies all fiction, but do we really ever see Eustace
Bruh,
being...
it's a one-off.
I understand, but
Why?
we gotta talk about something about this. Do we ever see Eustace...
I really don't need to, but continue.
Do we ever see Eustace really being a dick to Muriel?
No. Sometimes he'll yell and she'll give it back to him.
So it doesn't really defy things if he is nice to her.
The one hand, he wants to always protect wifey out of love, and he wants to protect hubby out of loyalty. And it's this dynamic that puts him in all of these very various terrifying situations. And even though every episode they kind of get out of whatever predicament they fell into, it never ends on a completely happy note. There's always something left behind to say, oh yeah, Courage cannot breathe easy now. Now, one important
That was horrible mic cuts. Horrible audio cuts.
I don't see how he doesn't relate to Courage. He didn't explain that.
As a kid, he didn't. So maybe he does now. Back then, he wasn't connected. He was just laughing at the cartoon. And eventually, he turned 15. And now he
14.
14 on the cusp. So you got to go over that hump.
Fair enough.
must be remembered for episodic TV series, especially in the West, because that's where it's far more prevalent, characters cannot really undergo massive character development. So even though Courage
Avatar,
yeah.
The Turtles.
Nelson softened up quite a lot in The Simpsons.
Even Stewie goes through character development, massive changes and stuff. I don't know what you. Now,
He's
of course,
speaking in general.
of course,
Something
there's
like
gonna be
Rugrats where they're babies.
But they get character development because they learn lessons and they grow from those lessons. Which later on informs their all grown up self.
Yeah, but didn't you
The
hear
wild thornberries!
Didn't you hear all the examples he gave?
Recess!
So it's yours are countered, sir. You lose.
Pepper Ann doesn't go through character developments.
It's such a good show.
his balls to drop every single episode because of the terrifying shiz going on, we still can't actually have a situation where Courage evolves from anything. He never grows from...
So it can't just be small incremental things. He has to overcome 5
Massive.
things, and then he's no longer ever afraid of anything.
But the shonen characters are still afeared.
yeah.
Finral is still scared. Usopp is still scared. Zenitsu is still scared.
It's nuts. A dude comes in with a broom, you're scared of him, and then you overcome that. And then the next dude comes in with a mop, and you overcome that. And then the next dude comes in with a knife, and you overcome that. And then the next dude comes in with a bomb.
The bravest
you overcome
person dealing with what Courage is dealing with would go, what the
Yeah.
I do not want to deal with a werewolf.
But after all those, after like the dude comes in with a gun and you overcome that, can you not be afraid of a dude coming in with a machine gun because you've overcome the dude with the broom and the dude with the bomb and all that other stuff? No, there can still be things that you're afraid of. It's just this haunting spirit thing that's just going to return the slab or suffer my curse. Question is like,
his experiences, and because of that, part of the humor in Courage the Cowardly Dog is that it's not that he gets over his fear and tackles it in order to go against whatever creepy scarecrow mummy is attacking the family. The comedy stems from the fact that his love and loyalty to his owners help him power through it despite the fear. He never conquers the fear and never grows. He's always in the same state of absolute
You do conquer the fear if you do the thing that you were afraid to do.
yes.
That doesn't... Conquering the fear does not mean you're never afraid ever again.
No.
Bravery is... I can't remember who said this quote, but... bravery without fear is foolishness or something like that. Which is just... You are just rushing head first into a scary situation without even understanding the consequences. So you need some form of fear to be brave, but that doesn't mean it's always just forever unafraid.
You've conquered your fear, so you're never afraid of anything ever again. No, that's simply not how this works. There's always going to be something newer or scarier across the horizon.
terror as he fumbles about trying to save everyone. I do consider him an overpowered character, because even though he's up against, I don't know, Dragon God of the West that can lay waste to cities, Courage the Cowardly Dog is goddamn immortal. You can't do anything to this bastard that'll stick. Courage would slap Goku in a fight, and Courage is one of the most powerful anime characters of all time. Now,
This is pure meme stuff, dude. Please just talk about what you're...
This would be very helpful if he listed his feats, like he got cut in half and he still managed to put himself back together.
But that's cartoon logic.
Something that explains why he's overpowered. Something like he lifted up a building.
He defeated a god. He defeats gods. That's why he's overpowered.
Yeah.
But David defeated Goliath.
He punched a dragon
He's
and the
just a
dragon
guy.
recoiled. Something that explains why he's overpowered instead of just saying that he is and just memeing and just going and just hoping that your audience laughs through the point and doesn't realize that you didn't say anything.
I'm not saying any of this to insult Courage's character. On the contrary, that is Courage's strength. Because every episode is essentially a repetition of the same exact story threads again and again. His family's in danger. He has to save them despite being terrified. In a way, it gets funnier and funnier. Because the creepiness that shows up in every season is even scarier than what was going on in the last. And the more and more it builds...
So why wouldn't he be scared of the new if it's just constantly scarier?
He's not allowed to be scared of the new stuff. Because he should have overcome that, but he didn't. So it's just funnier because he didn't. So it's a good thing that he didn't overcome the fear. So it's fine if he did overcome the fear. That's good. And if he doesn't, well, that's funny too. So do good, don't good.
Courage don't lose.
On Courage, he ends up just a bigger and bigger pile of stress. That is the humor that is coming from this character. But as I've mentioned before this Courage segment, I do not connect to Courage, even though I find him funny and I see his balls drop every episode on every occasion. Please note, I haven't watched Courage in years. So before making this video, just to make sure that, like, I'm saying the right shiz, I watched a few episodes and goddamn, did it get cringier? No offense. I still see the humor, but I do not remember the cringe. Watch an episode of it. You may surprise yourself. It's all on YouTube, not hard. Then again, who am I to talk?
Hey, please steal the content, y'all.
I would like if he explained what the cringe was.
No,
I would
watch
like
it for yourself.
to explain what episodes he watched so that we
watch
might
them all
experience.
and then find some cringe.
And then Nux made his point quite well. Whatever you think is cringe, because something that I think is cringe doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to think that it's cringe.
It's so interesting to me that Nux is this big, loud, memey boy. And then he's like, oh, Courage comedy is cringe.
He did
which
an
is
epic
loud,
rap battle.
Which is loud and... dude, legitimately! You think that wasn't cringe?
Why are you above the cringe? No, he's one with the cringe.
Then he should be celebrating the cringe. Just like, ooh, I ain't remember that.
But is Courage one with the cringe? It's not self-aware cringe like Nux is. So Nux's self-aware cringe is funny.
I don't think he is. I think he thinks that is funny.
Who's to say? Again, an interview would work wonders. But would it be a honest interview? Because you could just say whatever you want and then just...
about cringe, I mean, let's just say it's one of my many talents. But the point that I'm trying to make is, being that it's episodic, by definition, you can't have that growth, and it's just the...
Yes, you can.
You absolutely can. Even little things can inform later bigger things.
There's somebody that became a killer in Family Guy. Is that not a character growth, despite being an episodic show? If a character does something and then in the future they no longer trust that thing because of what happened before, is that not character development?
Piling of more and more stress that makes his character more fun. And without the growth, I feel like that is what's stopping me from actually falling in love with the character. I enjoy him on screen, but I never actually get shivers by something tremendous happening like I do with Lightning Pussy in Demon Slayer. Next, Aqua.
What bravery has Zenitsu showcased? Especially since this is only anime, because it was just this season. So I don't think he read the manga and the later things that happened with Zenitsu. What bravery did he showcase?
The box thing.
Okay.
Grand opening.
Grand closing.
From Konosuba, which again I recommend highly because it's amazing and the best isekai anime after Digimon. Which
It is not that good.
I recommend it because it's good. Is what Nux said. No qualifiers.
It's not a
No
good.
nothing.
I've only seen a little bit of it, but I don't think it's very good.
I'm just talking about the way that he praises something.
Of course, it's Nux Taku!
But that's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, it's a reason.
He should be better at this point.
Why is it like this? Because it is. That's the reason it's like it is. It's not the excuse of why it is.
It's just the fact that
It's just the
this
fact.
is the answer.
What do you want me to do about it?
hands down, top tier. Nothing can even come close. I don't even want to hear that disrespect in the comments. No matter who you consider best girl in Konosuba, and quite frankly, they are all best girls in their own way, especially Megumin, Aqua is a top tier goddamn character. When you think of courageous characters that experience growth, for the most part, you have someone like Usopp, someone like Shoot or Armin, someone like Finral,
Pause.
characters that make
Did he write this in sections? Because those are the 4 characters that he mentioned before. Did he
Yeah.
write this part first and then...
No. He's just reestablishing.
It seems
the character.
odd that he would mention those 4 characters and then he just goes, you have cowardly characters like these 4 characters that I mentioned before. It just seems like an odd way to structure that. That's all.
Are we watching this?
What else are we doing?
The Konosuba part.
There's no way to speed it up, is there?
No.
Nux has a video called Why Makima is the Perfect Overpowered Psychopath. In parentheses, Chainsaw Man. OP done
Oh,
right.
that's a big spoiler.
No, it's not. It's fine.
That's a end of series spoilers.
No, he's fine. I don't like this channel at all. I don't like how he collabs with VTubers that I like.
Like
Chibidoki.
Rip.
She's great. I love Chibidoki. Everybody watch Chibidoki. She's very
He's
funny.
a very big YouTuber with a audience of people that will laugh at essentially noise. Why wouldn't you want that rub?
She doesn't need it. She's better than that.
Yeah, but them subscribers, them views, get the bump.
I don't think it'd be worth it for him.
If you were a channel, if you were a person that cared, that made YouTube your career, and you were sitting at 80,000 subscribers,
That's healthy.
you would not subscribe, you would not collab with a Nux Taku, considering that the possibility that it could boost you into 200,000 subscribers and a jump of, let's say, 30% viewership in your videos.
I would not, because I wouldn't want to interact with somebody like that doesn't match my energy. Because if people do that and then come to my channel expecting his type of energy, they're not going to get it. And then that's just dead numbers.
It's crazy to me because I match other people's energy. If you seem like a person that's going to be more uppity, unless, dude, there are just some days I'm just not feeling it. And no matter what, I am not going to get my energy up. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, of course not. Sometimes it's just like, hey, come on. Let's bring this down a little bit. Nobody's had their coffee yet. Let's just bring it down.
But yeah, if something's more chill, I'll just, okay, we're just here. If it's up, I'll get the up. And I wonder if, I don't know how people act when they collab with Nux Taku. I've heard a little bit of that podcast, and I mean by a little bit, less than 3 minutes, and I could not stomach it. But everybody else just seemed to be the level they're at. He is just a constant siren in the background, screeching. He is the fire alarm going off for Phil as he's unboxing Final Fantasy 13.
Straight faced. Oh,
Dude, Gavin loves that video so much.
there's something. What is wrong with him? Why did he think that that'd be? Postpone it. Do it in your car.
Play the game. Start recording the playing of the game. Because the plastic's already off of it. So unboxing it, who gives it? Play the game. Wait till the fire alarm ends. Put it back in its case once you're done with all your recordings. Do the unboxing, then upload the unboxing first.
Because you still got gameplay with wee woos going off in the background. So that's a problem in and of
Was
itself.
the first Lightning Return? Did it have the Wii Woo? I would sincerely hope it does not have the Wii Woo.
All right, what is up, everyone?
It does not.
Darkside Phil here, and boy, how things have come full
Yep.
circle. Especially in regards to me and my playthroughs on YouTube and now Twitch TV.
So you couldn't put it off
Fantasy 13,
for just a
holy shit,
little
did I
bit
ever think
longer?
that'd be
No, as soon as
2013?
possible.
You might be saying, what the fuck? Really? A lot of people are saying that right now. They're like, really? This game exists? You're
Dude,
telling me
it's just
that this game
flowing in the back.
do a pre-stream with it going off and see how bad it is, see if there's ways I can muffle it on the microphone so that most people don't hear it too bad.
There's got to be a way that I can muffle this so people don't hear this so bad.
What?
Not a second into an unironic snort. It's a joke.
Oh, dude.
Start off as characters that are massive pussies that through extenuating circumstances and character development, they actually evolve into someone that is more comfortable with yourself. Now welcome to Konosuba, where the absolute opposite happens, and Aqua's a goddamn amazing character. Aqua is a goddess, and after Kazuma, the main character, gets killed and sent
So
to
pause. Again.
You do the thing, you don't, you do the opposite of the thing, and it's all
And
great.
it's all great. What's a bad example of a coward for him? I would love to
Because
see
he
that.
already said courage doesn't grow, but he still loves him. I guess a coward that's weak and doesn't have any... No, because Fuko still, he loves Fuko.
fantasy world because, you know, your average otaku weeb that gets killed gets sent to a fantasy world. She says to him, since you have been chosen to go to a fantasy world, I, a goddess, who is, by the way, very benevolent, I might add, will give you one wish of anything before going. A magic sword, infinite power, whatever you want. And then my boy Kazuma, one of my favorite anime assholes and 7th favorite protagonist of all time, starts getting pissed off because Goddess Whammon over there starts making fun of him. Says that it's...
I forgot about Whammon.
Worms has
Supplanted.
is.
Oh,
I think
no.
about Worms
Worms.
so much. It's so stupid.
It's not the truck that killed you. No, the truck stopped before you, but the fear of the truck killing you made you die, you absolute loser. And after you died, you wet your pants. So you literally accomplished nothing by trying to jump in front of the truck to protect the girl, because A, you didn't protect the girl, B, the truck stopped, C, you're such a pussy you died out of fear, which is not the most heroic way to...
That was a awful audio cut. He really needs to work on his audio editing. He is cutting 4 different takes together in the space of 2 seconds. It is grating to the ears.
I disagree.
Go, I might add, and he was getting berated by that garbage. So, the absolute mad lad Kazuma, and by the way, this may very well single-handedly convince you to watch the entire Konosuba series, says, oh yeah, I can pick one thing, infinite riches, infinite power, whatever, alright, I pick you! Yes, like a goddamn Pokemon, he chose Goddess Whammon to now get sent to this other world with him, and Goddess Whammon is goddamn floored. She is not your typical coward character that has to grow from that point. No, no! The beauty here is that she was faking benevolence appearance, but is in actuality a pampered, massive dick. She lived the cushiest life ever. She is...
Where does the cowardice come into play? You are literally just showing a character that's a jerk. A pampered jerk.
Yep.
a goddamn goddess that could do whatever she wants. She has infinite of everything, and she's just harping on this dude that just died for dying in a lame way. And it's not that she just gets a taste of her own medicine. No, no! Far more than that. Screw that whole cushy life. She is now a member of his harem, and she actually has to fend for herself to some degree. No more cushy life. Kazuma didn't wish for anything amazing, so he's not your typical overpowered protagonist. They start off living in stables. They use Aqua as bait more often than not because...
These audio edits are infuriating.
They have to be done.
They not like this.
There was an alarm going on in the background.
I'd rather hear the alarm.
She's just too useless otherwise. They need to purify a river, and she has like this purification magic because she is freaking broken despite being a massive coward. So they put her in a cave.
What is he showing us cowardice? She panicked because now she's no longer a goddess and pampered and has to sleep in stables.
And he did say, this is going to convince you to watch Konosuba. So he's operating on the assumption that the audience has not watched, or at least a good portion of the audience has not watched it. But he's established that she's a coward based on nothing.
Cage and lower that cage into a river where they
used her as bait, and now she's getting chomped up and she's screaming back out. How is this cowardice?
I don't like that you paused here of all food. I'm
cage
trying
is
to
being
get this
attacked by
channel
alligators
up.
that is slowly breaking the cage, and then
So the fear of
Fear
death,
is not cowardice. Jesus Christ, how do you explain this to an idiot like this?
See?
And I don't call people idiots frequently, but this is idiotic.
if we skip this, we wouldn't get this.
I'd rather not have this knowledge.
Because now we
This
have
is
this
cursed knowledge.
about Nux and his mindset.
We know his mindset.
Dude, that Sharingan video still shocks me to this very day. The leaps and bounds this man took. Straight faced.
We know a large portion of his, and I would rather not get more puzzle pieces to complete the picture. I'd rather leave it unfinished.
We're getting more puzzles. It's just we got a puzzle piece. We got a full puzzle. It's just like, all right, we got to start separating them in pieces. Nope, and then somebody dumps another puzzle on top of it. It's like, well, now we got a horse and a frog. Wait a second.
so she is in the river, purifying it with her holiness, while she is shrieking her head off a moment from being eaten by these vicious carnivorous beasts around her. And Kazuma and the rest of the gang, they're just like in the distance, you know, doing their own thing, while she is losing her goddamn mind from terror. It is such a perfect...
What is cowardice about this?
What's cowardice about that? And that seems more like an equal parts of her reaction to their reactions instead of something like Usopp just quietly going, no more dumb pirate bush. Don't make fun of my captain.
Imagine you, Nux Taku. If, say you're not afraid of heights, what would happen if someone just decided to dangle you on top of or off the side of a 30-story building? Would you not have fear as you're swinging in the wind? It doesn't mean you're a coward when it comes to heights. It is a frightening moment that could spell your death. This is not the explanation you think it is.
He's in a box in the middle of like a zoo, a glass box. And it's like, this glass box can take 500 pounds of punching pressure. And then here comes these gorillas. And it's like, well, these gorillas have 450 pounds of punching pressure. They could get through it with enough force, but, you know, maybe they will, maybe they won't. And then they start punching and the glass starts breaking. And are you going to get panicked?
And people are just having a conversation 30 feet away from you.
This isn't
case of a taste of her own medicine, as well as an overpowered coward done right. She's a coward because she had everything and it was all instantly stripped away, where she had no choice but to conform to relying on the person who did all of this to her.
How is that cowardice? How is this a coward? I don't understand his explanation. She's a coward because she got everything stripped from her? Where's the cowardice?
I'm hoping in the next 2 sentences there will be a joke to make us not realize that he didn't make a point. Come on, Nux, let's do it. You didn't say anything, so let's make a joke about a chicken or something.
And who did all of this to her? Within the show itself, they call her a useless goddess because that's what she is. She's so absurdly powerful, but she's also so terrified of the real world, and they just take advantage of her because of it. They need her power.
Where? Show something. Showcase something. Alligators attacking you is a reason to be afraid.
Yes, that is a legitimate reason. It's not like she saw a tumbleweed and was just like, what's that? It's a monster. It's going to kill us or something. Maybe she did. I have not seen enough Konosuba for that.
Don't care if she's a pussy. They'll put her on the goddamn front lines and it's hilarious. Konosuba is primarily a comedy, but it also tackles actual character growth. And Aqua freaking has it. How someone can retain the ridiculously pompous attitude, thinking themselves better than everyone else around them, but at the same time, cowering behind the person she hates for trapping her in this world, as he torments her to do tasks that are, let's just say, slightly unbefitting to a goddess. This is looking at an overpowered coward.
Dude.
This is a horrible point.
This is insanity.
This is not what he said that this is. This is not the point that he's making.
Maybe he's telling the truth and he's just not showing anything with it. But right now it just looks like she was sent into an alligator pit to purify some water and she's scared of a bunch of alligators.
I thought he did 2 primary comedies to make his point about the coward.
Complete opposite perspective in regards to growth. Not growth growing out of being a coward, but growth as in growing into being a coward. She has to now realize that there are repercussions to her actions, that people here can mess with her and she's not all powerful, that she has to break her butt in order to make a living, to not need to live in a stable and come.
What is cowardice about? It's more like a realization. She got slapped by reality. Oops, there goes gravity.
He's not very good.
Was he ever?
No. No. If this is late game, what do you think early game was?
Hey, remember that first eye patch wolf video we did? And we were like, this is way better than the GT one. It was early games. He was explaining things. He was talking about the positives and the negatives. The first Hunter x Hunter video.
I don't remember that.
Why you should watch Hunter x Hunter?
I know what the title was,
okay.
but I don't remember the video. I can't name 2 sentences if we were to put something in.
Don't put that dirt on me. I'm just saying, I remember us talking about, he talked about the positives and the negatives, and we wished he did more stuff like that later on. But, because I think we had just watched part 5 or something.
That's a video that he does not think favorably of.
Does he not?
No. Don't you remember in the last, or was it one of the live streams that we did, somebody was just like, he did a watch back of it and he did not think that it was very good.
Probably didn't like some of his analysis and editing.
Probably. I should probably watch that.
For the most cushy, prideful, smug-ass lives ever, it is goddamn beautiful. And now, my boy, Zenitsu, the pussy of lightning himself, all the cards are on the table for you.
And that's the type of person that
it's your tattoo. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's not the...
This is the type of person that would like something like Zenitsu, because him saying the word lightning pussy over and over and over again, do you think it's going to be funny the 6th time like that? When it's simply... It's like you said. You can make racism a joke, but the N-word, walking into a room and saying the N-word is not a joke.
It's not funny.
And this is just the N-word.
It's diminishing returns. Because the first time, you're going to have a bunch of kids giggle at the naughty word. But by the 5th time, you just say, N-word.
It's like, this just is the thing now. It's just you're just saying words now. It's not funny. Again, it's like the eraser stuff. Not the eraser, the pencil stuff, because that is a character. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's just is now, and it's just annoying because it's just this thing that is.
Now there is a thing of things wrapping back around.
No, absolutely. I don't think that this is what that is.
This is definitely not it, because I listened back to the this one's for you morph. And I'm dying, and I'm just like, oh, we still got another 2 minutes of talking about this, and I'm going through it, and then by the end, I'm dying again. I love that clip.
Scale, ruler, compass, chalk, and filer.
Scale,
compass. Very funny. These are comedy. This is what we want. I don't know how I feel about the black guy being named Chalk. I don't know about that, Toyotaro.
Nah, we know what it is.
I don't know. Maybe you keep that.
Did he name it or did Tori?
Maybe it went through a committee, surely, because Toei and Dragon Ball is a brand. It is not It's not
an art.
It's not art anymore. It's nothing but a brand. It is a money printing machine. And it goes through so many hands. Surely somebody went, okay, we got some normal looking black people in here. Maybe we don't name them Chalk.
Counterpoint. Who's gonna care when they buy the figure?
Who cares? Because somebody's favorite character is gonna be Chalk and Compass and Ruler. Somebody's gonna be.
What were the other two?
Compass. I said Compass.
You said Compass already.
Filer and dude, legitimately a minute ago. We've been complaining about this all episode.
Do you want me to tell you?
Compass, filer, ruler. I've lost two now.
Chalk is the one you missed.
Scale.
Scale is the other one you missed.
Oh, the fat guy is named Scale. What are you doing?
Maybe this is some type of empowerment thing.
You up. How are you empowered by being called something that's white?
Because you're black. So it's not about your skin tone. It's actually the opposite of it. Just like Scale is a fat dude who wouldn't want to be on the scale because he's a fat dude. It's the thematic opposite of what they are.
So it's just like calling somebody in a wheelchair legs.
Legs in the wheelman.
The legs was the guy that could walk.
Yeah, but you drew attention to it.
No, the attention is drawn to the wheelman.
I don't think so.
Scale.
To
what was he talking about?
Zappy Boy. It's finally time. All the cards on the table. He's already given all the examples.
Did he put cards on?
Oh, yeah, you weren't paying attention?
Zenitsu, the pussy of lightning himself, all the cards are on the table for you to understand exactly why I revere this god Chad level mad lad, because without talking about anime cowards until this point, I don't think I would have been able to get that across. Now, Zenitsu embraces the power of shonen. Yes.
We're finally to the point of the video, and I don't even want to watch it anymore.
I was off by 4 minutes. Because I said once we hit 11 minutes, we're going to go, maybe.
Nux is something else. I'm glad that he moved away from this and got into the Mr. Beast stuff. Because imagine if it was years of just stockpiled videos like this.
Oh, dude. Season 2 of Demon Slayer?
It'd be nuts.
Zenitsu the Hype? Oh, the sound dude with all the whamming he has? Oh, that's another brave moment where he said, "Don't touch her."
Sure. He had not gotten here yet, and I will put as much money as possible that he has not read that manga.
He might have read it by now.
By now, absolutely, but not at this point.
At this point, yes. No, I would cover that bet.
Once again, I will say the same thing that I always say about Demon Slayer and why it's great. It mastered goddamn simplicity in its most beautiful form. And that is what it did with Zenitsu. That is why Zenitsu is my favorite character in the show. And that is why Zenitsu is best boy of summer
Pause.
20...
It mastered simplicity, and that's why Zenitsu is my favorite character.
Well, that's why he's best boy.
What is simple about Zenitsu? What is the perfection about it?
And he becomes brave with the power of shonen.
But that's Usopp.
No. Usopp has to become brave on his own.
What is the power of shonen?
Bush power-ups.
Isn't that a negative thing?
Unless it's done correctly.
Unless it's done perfectly.
Yeah.
Honed to perfection as Demon Slayer is wont to do.
This is the most simple of the power of shonen.
19. The one thing that shonen in general...
Did he just say episode 19?
No, he didn't.
Zenitsu is my favorite character in the show, and that is why Zenitsu is best boy of summer 2019.
Okay, summer 2019. I heard 19.
One thing that shonen in general does to draw me in that almost no other medium has ever managed to do is this whole growth-oriented storyline that I just don't see anywhere else. The generic...
Pause. Harry Potter had growth-oriented.
Can you read a comic? Can you read a book?
Into the Spider-Verse was all about coming into the role of Spider-Man. What media?
He must just watch anime and listen to music. I don't see growth in music. Dude. Hey, don't look at me. Don't even look over here. Your face is duly noted.
Longbottom.
Neville Longbottom.
Snake. He did it.
Avatar.
I'm gonna go away for a little bit, but if you don't see me, kill the snake. Kill the snake. Got it. Kill the snake. He did it.
Hey, that's 7 books in, dude. I'm talking book 1 where he stood up to his friends. Again, Avatar. Danny Phantom. Even the lessons learned in Fairly Odd Parents.
Protagonists all have these wild dreams that they're trying to harness. You know, Naruto becoming the Hokage, Asta becoming the Wizard King, Deku becoming the greatest hero, Luffy becoming...
That is not.
Yes, it is.
Deku.
Yes, it is.
Dream.
Don't you remember in episode 1 where he just went?
I'm so tired.
I want to be the number one hero, and I'm going to. And that's my whole dream.
Entire point
this is
of
my
being
entire
a hero
point of being
isn't
a hero.
to help
It's to
people.
be the number one hero.
It's to be the number one.
I want to be the number
hero.
one hero. That's my entire point. Don't you remember that whole speech
No!
that he said in the first chapter? That's what he said. You weren't reading it.
I am so fucking tired of it.
It's people just implanting this is shonen, so this must be what he wants to do.
How are they not? They're analysts. How are they not absorbing the information?
Sometimes you just sort of yada yada and just sort of implant your own things into this.
Not if you're analyzing a piece of media.
Sure.
I can listen to a song and go yada yada. I wasn't even paying attention to the lyrics. I like the beat, but I'm not trying to break down the song.
Okay, here's what it is.
He speaks on Deku a bunch.
But it's episode 1. This is a story about how I became the greatest hero. So you're watching it with the mindset of he wants to be the greatest hero. So then when you
He
go
has
back,
never expressed that. that.
So then when you go back to analyze it, you're not looking for those moments where he said he wants to be the greatest hero because you're taking it as a given. So you just use that as he wants to be the greatest hero and this is his story and his character and stuff. You don't have to explain, you don't have to showcase that this is what he wants to do because it's a given that this is what he wants to do.
Did All Might want to be the greatest hero? He has never expressed the want of that.
We don't know enough about All Might's past, and we never will. I keep looking for the that little short with Nana, and I can't find it dubbed because I need it dubbed because that's Stephanie. Stephanie Young is Nana, and I love me some Stephanie Young.
Stephanie is the one.
I mean, the Pirate King, generic as it sounds, shonen anime in general is growth focused. Every sports anime is about them becoming the best sports team in the country.
You showcase slam dunk while doing this when their entire purpose was to beat a single team,
And
then they
greatest.
then they lost in the very next
Then
round,
they
and
became
everybody
the
was happy because they accomplished the goal they set out to do.
They were so great at the end. They wanted to be the greatest, and then they were.
The Damon Devilbacks did not want to be the best team. They wanted to go to the Christmas Bowl because of a promise.
Ippo doesn't want to be the best.
Ippo does not want to be the best. What are you talking about? How can you show a series on screen that is literally not what you're talking about?
Because it's literally what he's talking about.
Or in the world, though! At say it at least.
You see,
Oh
that's the 14-year-old where they laugh at
10-year-old,
Zalworld,
10-year-old.
and then the next year,
I don't think
it
a
drops
14-year-old is still laughing at Zawel, though.
I think
but I
they
think
were.
a 10-year-old
I think
right
they
now
were when
into
this video
JoJo,
came out.
into the meme culture.
However many years ago this video came out, I believe that they were.
It's got to be 2019.
It is 2019.
He said it was summer 19, so it had to be after that.
So yes, I do believe that back then they were absolutely
3 years ago?
Yes. I believe that they're still doing it right now. Because funny meme, haha.
Go to the newest comment of this video.
I shall go to the newest comment of this video. This dude must have a very sore throat after this video. I legit abandoned this anime because of Zenitsu.
Oh no, that's the collapse of the face.
Don't call him Lightning Pussy. We already have a Lightning Pussy. Her name is Yoruichi. And for some reason, this was commented twice in a row by the same person.
They had to get the joke out. That's a 10-year-old.
That is not a 10-year-old. That is a 14-year-old.
That is a 10-year-old.
That is a 14-year-old. That 14-year-old has 336 comments on Nux's videos throughout his...
You think that's a 14-year-old?
That is absolutely a 14-year-old.
That's a 10-year-old growing into a 14-year-old.
They're subscribed to PewDiePie. That's not helping my point.
Getting a little...
They're subscribed to RC Anime. They're subscribed to Markiplier.
That slider. That slider.
This is so many people that I don't know of that have 1 million subscribers.
Boy, just talked about it.
I don't know who you are. They're subscribed to Screen Rant.
That slider.
Yeah, I think you're closer to 10.
That slider.
I don't think that proves your point, though. That just because you got one 10-year-old.
One out of how many?
Confirmed.
One out of how many?
10-year-old.
One out of how many? If you 1 for 1, I mean, that's 1,000, bruh. You can't get much better than that. Unless you surpass your limits. Still going through the comment section or just going through their subscribers? You know it's
comment section.
Oh yeah, no, bruh.
Is bad.
Why wouldn't it be?
And I don't like it.
watching the video, I'm sorry. It's become a pride thing. Seven Deadly Sins, the characters grow on a psychological level. One Piece is focused on characters growing in fame so that the world can recognize them.
That's not character growth, you dumb sack of garbage. If you're just talking about any growth, then the episodic things happen when they learn lessons like South Park.
He has to make his point.
Make it right then. Don't just make a point. Make sure your point is correct before you make it.
Does anybody care if Nux is making entirely correct points?
I care.
Do you think that Nux cares that you care?
He cared enough to delete that and tweet.
It's sad.
Aside from just growing in power. In Food Wars, it's a competition to become the greatest chef. So on and so forth. The one thing...
Yes, that one is correct because they go to a school with a competition about becoming the best of the school and a world-renowned chef. Yes. One Piece was stupid.
Of course.
Slam Dunk was wrong.
I would say to describe shonen as a whole in its most positive way is that it is growth oriented in a way that most mediums are not. That is what...
What do you mean most mediums? What other mediums are you consuming that you can compare it to? What do you mean? Movies, comedies, dramas? What medium are you talking about? How many more mediums are there? Video games where there's a lot of video games that are growth oriented? Movies where there's a lot of movies? Comics where there's a lot of comics?
Persona series is growth oriented.
What medium are you talking about?
Nux Taku.
Nux Taku.
Drew me into shonen. And that, I think, is what made me an anime fan. That is something that shonen has that even other demographics in anime don't. Not to say that there isn't character development, of course there is, but it's not purely focused on this growth-oriented mastery that
Shonen isn't focused on growth. Characters grow, their powers grow. It's progression, it's not growth.
shonen does. Now, I'm talking very surface level here because I do want to make an entire video on the beauty.
You get it? It's the surface of water.
And he zooms into it.
And then he broke the surface tension.
It's very funny, you see.
Beauty of shonen as a whole, and it will be a long video because shonen gets way too much.
Did he ever make that video? What the beauty of shonen?
Shonen as a whole, and it will be a
Nux Taku. Shonen. Not shine.
From your head down to your shoes?
The king of modern shonen.
Skirt on 22s?
Shonen underdogs with no power.
He may not have made
He may
that
not
video.
have made it.
It might have been right in the midst of his, I'm gonna become Mr. Beast Taku.
My chat forced me to watch hentai gamers, and I don't think this is legal. Ha 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 ha. Look at him, he's laughing.
I laughed at you.
He's laughing.
As long as a laugh happens.
video because shonen gets way too much crap from other corners of the anime community that don't respect it as much as, higher intellect.
I don't care if somebody respects One Piece. I don't give a
I don't care if somebody respects the genre of shonen because there are trash shonen and there's amazing shonen. If somebody sees 15 trash shonen and they go all trash or all shonen are trash, I don't care what they think because we don't know what they've seen. The things that they're talking about in the trash shonen won't necessarily mean that they're talking about the things that are matter in the good shonen. So it doesn't matter to me what some nebulous people think.
The only reason I bring things up is for people to consume them. Read Liar Satsuki, y'all.
Read 16-year-old homeboy girlfriend thing.
Read How to Fight /Viral Hit.
Maybe read some scat dance.
Maybe read some scat dance.
Y'all, 16-year-old Seiya is so good. There's a part where he runs away from a girl and then he just breaks down and he just goes, I want to change. And then that was the moment where I was just like,
That's when I connected
I
with them.
want you to change, but you gotta want it. You gotta put action in. You can't just want to piece of shit. Oh,
He really frustrates
it's
you.
frustrating. It's just like Wanamonte, where it's just like she's just sitting there shaking, like, why don't I have any friends? It's like, because you ain't doing shit to get friends.
You are literally just sitting
You're
around.
a horrible person crying about why you don't have friends, and you're sitting there playing video games all day. I wonder why you don't. You do it.
Pieces like moe characters drinking tea. I mean, YouTube is essentially a shonen setting. I could so see a shonen anime be focused on YouTubers trying to gain clout or whatever the hell. And if you look at many shonen characters,
That would just be a story. That would just be a story.
No, but that's a funny joke.
Hey, y'all, read Scoob and Shag.
that actually suffer from depression, they get past that by growing, which is a cure for poor mental health, and that's stated by many psychologists. It's not just me memeing. Growing is goddamn important, and accomplishing is crucial to a mental well-being. So the reason why I'm mentioning all of this is because Demon Slayer, which is a fantastic goddamn show that I cannot recommend highly enough this season, takes shonen in its simplest sense.
No! No! He can't have said this for the 8th time in this video!
Why not?
Does he write?
Yeah.
Or does he just talk and then
Edit. No. There you can tell
we
by
talked
the
about this before. We talked about
you can tell
his
by
process.
You can tell by the inflections. He knows when to bring it down, he knows when to bring it up. So he definitely wrote it down with some thing in mind. If he scripts it all, I couldn't tell you, but he definitely scripts 90% of it.
Apart.
Oh boy, I'm with you.
Ridiculous. I can't. Yeah. No, you can
No,
play
no,
it.
I'm waiting
that's
on you.
fine. No.
We're in it together.
It's gonna take a while, so
We're
you can just
brothers.
go ahead and play that.
We're happy and we're
I'll be
singing and
over
we're
here.
colored.
I'll be over here. You know, it's
Give me a hell no.
That is such a specific intro to a 90s sitcom that who's gonna get that? And then you splice it in with it triggered. Come on now.
That's how you do it.
And makes it beautiful. The simple growth-oriented story of a shonen anime and of different shonen characters, especially because in most shonen, almost everyone is trying to grow to some degree. Everyone wants to be the Pirate King, just like so many people.
Nami does not want to be the pirate.
She doesn't want to grow. Her dream isn't necessarily to grow anything.
Buggy
It's just to
does not want
it's just knowledge. Not even really knowledge. It's just
That's
sort
more
of
Robin.
charting.
Robin wants to find a thing, but she doesn't need to grow. She doesn't want to change. Nami would be perfectly happy with a 0 bounty.
Gordon doesn't necessarily want to grow. He just wants friends.
Yeah.
And he deserves it because he's awesome.
And creepy.
King, just like so many people have the dreams to become Hokage or have other dreams that they're trying.
Who is so many people? Kiba mentions it at the
Kiba.
0 hour.
Kiba does. That boy Kiba.
We got Kiba, and then eventually Sasuke says it too.
Yep.
Wow, so many.
Sarada.
No, that's Boruto. We're not counting Boruto.
Why not?
He said so many people in Naruto, not the Naruto universe.
I'll allow it.
Thanks, Judge.
to accomplish. Sasuke growing to kill Itachi is a dream that is growth-oriented, even though Sasuke is a massive twat for the vast majority of Naruto. So too in Demon Slayer.
It's just the growth in terms of strength in that aspect. It's not any sort of gaining of knowledge or introspection or anything. You
Gaining
say
knowledge of oneself.
and
Strength is definitely a growth, but
sure.
why would you bring up the twat stuff? Because that's personality wise, and
He doesn't grow past that in his quest to kill Itachi.
we got 7 minutes left, and he hasn't really explained why Zenitsu is great. Just why
You don't think
Shonen.
he hasn't?
Everyone has their own perspective of where they want to go. Tanjiro isn't looking to become the most powerful character or the highest ranked
We know this. And it's not a praise that is simply not doing a thing that you say that every other shonen is doing. Everybody wants to be a Hokage in Naruto. You do that to prop this up because it's not doing that thing over there.
Dr. Stone wants to revive the world.
He has to exaggerate the dreams of others in order to be like, this isn't doing that. And therefore, I hate crap like that.
Demon Slayer to get respect. So, as I've mentioned in my previous more general Demon Slayer / Tanjiro video, his focus is primarily growth through saving his sister, growth through ending future suffering, and it comes from a much more selfless and organic place. Believe it or not,
Sure. I don't. 7 minutes.
generic growth in power mindset is coming from Inosuke. You know, Boarbutt, a character that doesn't seem like it.
These audio cuts. He clearly thought of Boarbutt after the fact.
That's funny.
And said it in post. It's like in Deadpool 2 where Ryan Reynolds says Thanos, and it's so much quieter because it's clear it was after the Thanos, and he just did it in an overdub.
Guess who hasn't seen Deadpool 2?
That's crazy.
Have you seen Jigoku Shoujo past season 1?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I have seen an episode past season
Oh,
1.
is
that not past season 1?
I've seen trailers of Deadpool 2.
I'll allow it.
Was made with sheer brilliance and amazing awesomeness. But
Oh, so Tanjiro is better because he doesn't do the thing.
But
and Inosuke is
great
amazing
because he does
the thing.
in certain ways, it kinda was. It takes the very simplistic outlook of trying to become strong.
How much is this video about Zenitsu?
10%.
And it just makes it that character's
You know what? This video exemplifies the analytical process of Demon Slayer in that there is nothing to talk about with Zenitsu. So you have to filibuster and faff about the topic until you get to the topic with literally 7 minutes left.
entire
This
being.
is a good shot. They've both given their jacket to make him more comfortable. That's good. I like that.
Sure.
But also, that character learns so much more about the people around him and starts to respect the other finer things in life. One of my favorite aspects about
Where is Zenitsu? Where's the Zappy boy? We're now in another series.
Okie doke. Nux is the master of okie dokes.
No, he's not, because sometimes it's exactly what it's about and it's horrible.
And that's the okie doke. You're expecting the okie doke. You're expecting the right hook and you'll just get a left jab. And that left jab is devastating.
Ricardo.
Yep.
Vegeta's character in Dragon Ball is that he is a prideful bastard. Sorry, that had nothing to do with anything. But some of my favorite parts about Vegeta is the fact that he's completely power-oriented as well. He wants to get stronger and stronger and stronger, but as the story goes on, he learns to care much more about Bulma and his family and friends, to the point that he's chicken dancing in front of Beerus. Very cool.
But he's still strength-orientated.
Yep.
Don't pretend like he's not.
Vegeta, very cool. Inosuke is not per se going through that same growth because he's doing it in only a few episodes, whereas Vegeta did it in a few hundred, but he's also...
Okay, can we stop with this bullshit of why is it taking so long? Demon Slayer is great because it's so...
Snappy.
People conflate tight and fast-paced. No. This is not a tight story. It has loose threads all over the thing place. But it happens so quickly that you don't have time to digest the issues. Hit it with my hoodie.
You know what was up.
but he's
You
also
want to get past it as well.
slowly starting to learn this value of non-materialistic things. Life is not just all about power, it's also about friends, and that's a generic shonen mindset that's organically grown in Inosuke's character. And now, on to the pussy of lightning. Then he
6 minutes left.
That's enough time to say everything.
And he's gonna link his other video after this. So we're talking maybe 5.5 minutes left.
That's fine. That's enough time. He's laid down the groundwork,
No,
and now it's
he
time.
hasn't.
And now
He
it's
built
time to
his
build
house
that
on
road.
on a pile of sand.
No, he didn't.
your typical coward character trying to grow. Funnily enough, if you look at a very simplistic build of a shonen protagonist, you have someone that's cowardly that has to...
Pause.
Bro, look at this.
Did he say that he? Did he say he's a cowardly character trying to grow? I wasn't listening.
Coward character trying to grow.
Okay, hold on.
Organically grown in Inosuke's character. And now, on to the pussy of lightning. Zenitsu is your typical coward character trying to grow.
Whoops.
Is he?
No. He is absolutely not trying to grow. He is not trying to become brave. He is not trying to become better. He is forced to train. Absolutely.
He doesn't go into training wanting to get better. He wanted to go into training to be touched by girls.
No.
How did he come to that conclusion? Maybe there's a line somewhere in there saying of him just going, I want to be brave or something.
In the first season,
Sure.
because we've established this mother did not read the manga. And the guy who says that Deku wants to become the greatest hero remembers a single line of Zenitsu going, I want to be better.
He could.
All right, you keep that
I'm
charity up.
charitable
You
to
keep
this
that charity
man.
up, bruh.
Now, if you
You
look at
empty
a
the
very
pockets.
simplistic build of a shonen protagonist,
If you don't shut the up about simple,
This is so funny. Look at him.
it's not. Dude.
It's hilarious.
you have someone that's cowardly that has to man up, that also wants to become the strongest, and also has a massive moral compass. That is the 3 character traits of the 3 main characters in Demon Slayer.
Why is there a giant sample right there?
This might be some DeviantArt picture.
Or a video game?
I don't think so. 2019? I don't think that's a video game.
Then I don't know what this is for. It's just gonna bring up the episode.
It's just. Oh wait. Yeah. It did bring up a picture, but I think this might be a poster or something.
That would make more sense. If it's wall art or something.
It matters not.
They take the generic shonen build and hones each of the aspects that makes it great individually. Combining Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro, you get a typical shonen protagonist build. This amplifies each of these 3 brilliant points and puts it in 3 separate characters. If you look at someone like Deku from My Hero Academia, he is a character that A, has massive moral thingos going on. He's always preaching
Not all shonen protags have moral compasses. Goku does not have a moral compass. Luffy does not have a moral compass. Dr. Stone kind of has an opposite. L and Light don't have moral compasses. Slam Dunk, no moral compass.
Frank Slam Dunk.
I forget his name right now. I'm gonna say it's been a long time since I read Slam Dunk.
is everywhere. He is a very moral character. Tanjiro's
Saguchi?
core character trait. Deku also is very growth-oriented power-wise. He is someone that wants to be the number 1 hero.
You are wrong.
He's right.
And go ahead.
But I would rather have a character with 3 personality traits than 3 characters with 1 personality trait.
I
each.
agree.
I don't know what point he's trying to make here. I understand that they don't
Because
he doesn't have 3. He has
you
more
can
than that, and
you
they
can
have
showcase
whatever.
the moral compass of a character through just a single character. So it's laser focused on the moral compass aspect, as opposed to, oh, now you're switching, you're constantly switching. It's just like that thing you talked about recently where the cup of noodles, the noodles being made or whatever it was, where they had just done the basics of noodles.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you can focus on that. Eggs. So you can focus on that. As opposed to, it's all this in one conglomerate of an egg dish. The simplicity of the eggs is the brilliance of the eggs. Boil some eggs.
Passionate about it, and he works his hardest to get there, just like Inosuke is power driven. And also, he is absolutely terrified of what's before him very often, but forces himself to man up and grow a pair for any given situation.
When does this happen?
He's no longer talking about Zenitsu.
He never was. But this was a moment where Deku went, what can I do? And then he remembered All Might's words and he went, there's nothing I could do. And he's walking away until he saw it was Bakugo.
Another example would be muscular.
Muscular.
I don't remember any other really. Early My Hero is just sort of getting pushed back for late.
All the good is being lost.
It's legitimately pre and post gentle in my mind. Pre, during, and after gentle. And the pre gentle is getting foggier and foggier.
Zenitsu and his core character theme. Demon Slayer split up this generic protagonist build into its 3 fundamentals and makes them a fantastic dynamic trio leading...
Hey, has he not already said these exact words? Some
He
of
has.
them. So is he just reiterating?
And he's praising the 3 of them instead of just Zenitsu. Why not have this be about the dynamic and not just all this coward stuff, and then you're coming back to the 3 of their dynamics is so great. This is so unfocused. Stick to your point. What are you praising here? What does this have to do with Zenitsu? What does this have to do with the previous 19 plus minutes of going, no, these are how cowardly characters are structured. And now you're just going, this dude is motivated, this dude is kind, and this dude is cowardly. And they all coalesce into this big conglomerate of a mush of a man of whatever this.
And each of them has to learn to not only hone that one point that they're hell-bent on, but also figure out what to do about these other 2 points that they are seemingly lacking, but develop in accordance with teaming up with each other. Where
Where did Tanjiro and Inosuke learn their cowardice?
I'm about to say, are you thinking that they're all one? They
Only
cover
moral
up
compass.
They cover up for the things.
Even
that
though
the
we've
other
seen
lacks.
Tanjiro want to get stronger and Tanjiro be scared. We've seen Inosuke want to get stronger, have a moral compass and be scared. We've seen Zenitsu not have a moral compass, not want to get stronger and be scared.
This is a problem with overthinking like this. You can overthink it. That's fine. But you gotta overthink it correctly.
Who are you to say that
Because he's wrong.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
He's wrong.
has to man up, and where
Like I just want the scene where they cover him up. They lose something to make him more comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's something that I just noticed. And then you could just go, that goes into their character and go into that path. But he's sitting here going, they're covering for what each other lacks in their own. No!
So what happens when they're not together? Which they frequently aren't.
He starts to care about people around him, where Tanjiro, the moral center point of this group, became the de facto leader. I'm low-key very proud of how I'm covering Demon Slayer so far. I feel like my last...
You're not covering Demon Slayer, You're dumb cuck!
Aren't you covering Zenitsu, Mr. Nux? of the Taku branch.
Of the clan Taku.
Last episode focusing on Tanjiro and the core themes of the series, and this episode breaking it down a little more is pretty dope. But now to get in the final.
How
you
about you suck your dick harder?
Was this the purpose of the video, to break down the structure further, or was it just about Zenitsu and cowards? He's lost in the sauce.
He's lost in the sauce.
Meat and potatoes about lightning.
I don't like this guy. His content, at least.
It's really appealing to, I'm just gonna throw a number out there, 14-year-olds.
I would skew lower, but okay.
Well, I disagree.
Pussy, and what makes him amazing is the fact that the coward archetype is so goddamn relatable. Yes, nothing far too abstract here. Again, Demon Slayer, master.
Go back.
I don't.
No. Go back to that. He goes, it's so relatable. How is this relatable?
You've never
I have
done this?
never screamed and done a bridge.
Have you ever done a bridge?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever screamed?
Yes.
Okay, then.
But not together.
And now it's the perfect melding of the two.
No, it's not.
Just like Tanjiro.
No,
and Zenitsu,
it's not.
He's encompassing everything you've ever done into one relatable character and action.
It's not.
Have you done a bridge?
Yes.
Have you screamed?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm just saying. You're saying no, and it's clearly yes. You're the wrong one this time.
But I've been so angry that I've laughed.
Yes.
But I've also taken a So if I saw somebody being furious and laughing on the toilet, I wouldn't think that that's relatable.
Have you taken...
Yes.
Have you laughed so hard? You screamed so hard you laughed?
No, I said
Or you've been so angry you laughed? Okay, then.
But I would not relate to somebody doing that. I would be quite fearful of somebody doing that.
You would relate to the deconstructed aspect
of
what they're doing.
What?
They're king. See, right now, they're doing all these things. They're king, they're angry, they're laughing. It's all coming together in this one scene.
You're just gonna keep talking and just not make a point. But you're gonna say enough words that it sounds like a point. Go on.
I mean, you done Eminem me at this point.
I am broke. I do live in trailer park with my mom. What now?
You done exposed it.
Here again, Demon Slayer mastered simplicity, but whenever a
Holy God!
character that I'm bonding with is scared of something, it is very much meant to amplify whatever we are scared of. Not necessarily fighting monster spider demons. That's not exactly my personal issues or fears that I have to overcome. But the point is, watching someone actually go ahead and do it, whether it's because they respect their friends, whether it's because Nezuko is the cutest goddamn thing on the planet, and as the human species, we will collectively die to protect her, even though I feel terribly bad for her that she's banging around that box as Tanjiro makes like these 4 billion
Bro, what are we doing here?
But for some reason, Courage is bad because he doesn't grow past this.
It's not that he's bad. It's that he doesn't relate to him. He doesn't connect to him.
But it's just because he doesn't grow past it. Because he's praising Zenitsu for going in even though he's scared. But it's just the fact that Courage doesn't grow from it. And we don't see that tangible growth is the issue with Courage.
I mean, we don't see it with Zenitsu either.
Not in season 1. But we do see it in that last season where he just goes, I've changed now.
No,
and then he doesn't anymore.
Yeah,
because he's back to being afraid.
Yeah, so no. He had a momentary lapse of his character.
Yeah, it's almost like he was, let's say, 14 years old, and he had reached the height of his scaredness.
And then it went back down to 10.
And no.
I understand.
No,
I understand where you were going with it.
A little bit of a roller coaster.
No, I understand where you were going.
And then he went all the way down.
He hit 15.
He banged Nezuko. And they had a grandkid that looked exactly like them. And nobody's questioning that because we're all fine with that. Mm-hmm. Everybody was reincarnated. Or were they? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Reincarnated in the same area, knowing the same people.
Sure.
Y'all, Demon Slayer is a very not good series.
It's just not. good at all. I wouldn't put it at let's say 8.5 like another idiot would.
But he doesn't like it, so.
Yeah, no, it's a cartoon.
He's so stupid.
Find me a stupider person. Find me a less honest person.
That's the one.
It's nuts. The more I hear about him, it's just like, how can this person exist?
Quarrels while fighting his opponents, but that's irrelevant! But the thing that really makes Zenitsu stand out is that unlike most shonen cowards that are thrust into a situation...
Oh, generic done. Now unique.
Yeah, now it's good that it's unique. Look, he's screaming and doing a bridge again.
You were late.
No!
Deconstruct it.
To a large extent, they bought their finale. Finral joined the Black Bulls. Armin joined the military. Shoot became a hunter. So on and so forth.
He was already a hunter.
And he
Finral was already a Black Bull.
And even though they gained their notoriety, they were still scared in those roles.
Usopp is still afraid despite being a
It's not
strong
like
hat.
Hunter now no more afraid. No, this is now I have more to
Zenitsu
fear.
joined the hunters. The Demon Slayers.
But was that his dream?
But he did it.
Deconstructed.
Granted, had to get over their fears, but they did join these dangerous scenarios by their own free will. Zenitsu was completely thrust into it against his will. He was forced into this death game of an entrance exam, and he survived by just running the heck away from demons whenever he would bump into them, instead of actually...
Wrong. He fell asleep and he attacked demons because Tanjiro said that sounds like thunder over there.
And we don't know the circumstances behind him joining, other than him saying his grandpa made him. Unless
made him.
His teacher made him. He called him his grandpa. Unless his teacher sat there and watched. You're how very rude. I'm gonna walk out of here right now.
You do that. The video ends.
But unless his teacher sat there and watched, he's like, okay, it's starting, and then he watched him into the forest. There's nothing saying that he can't just stand out there for 6-7 days and then just go back and like, yo, I failed. We don't know the circumstances behind it other than what we're told. And if you believe that what we're told is enough, that's fine. I don't believe that.
Into them instead of actually confronting any of them. Zenitsu has insane latent power, but he's terrified and doesn't even know how to harness it for the most part. I don't blame him for being terrified. He didn't ask to be in the situation he's in, but...
But you blame Courage for being terrified. For not growing past being terrified. Why does Zenitsu get this?
Responsibility was thrust upon him and he has to rise to that occasion.
This is why I don't like a lot of superheroes as much as I like Superman, because he did not have a mantle thrust upon him.
Yeah, he did.
It's a theme that I very much appreciate. Because we all have been in those situations, and if not, we probably will be. Responsibility being thrust on someone sucks balls, because of its really...
I don't care about the relatability.
How is it that Konoha can't be, or is it Aoi? One of them can't participate in missions because they're too weak, despite passing the trials. But Zenitsu is. But Zenitsu
is
when he has never showcased any level of strength. What is it about him?
Why? Who knows?
Important, well then you have to stand up for who you are and actually take the next step forward. And
he doesn't.
This meta bullshit is something that I do not care about. I don't care about me wanting to grow past my bullshit because Zenitsu did. I don't care. Show me a good character doing good things. Because the story is absent of me.
Yeah. The story's gonna chug along whether I read it or not.
I'm not gonna say Zenitsu is a good character because I feel like Zenitsu. That doesn't say anything about me. That doesn't tell you why I think the character is good. That doesn't make you want to read the manga and experience Zenitsu more. It's gotta be something more than that. I don't care about this crap.
This is low key subliminal advertisement in that they'll keep slotting in those "you feel likes" until someone goes, yes, I do feel like, I do relate to Zenitsu. No, Nux, you relate to him.
That's
and
fine.
But it's not good enough to explain why the character is good.
Yes. You're not explaining anything. You're not selling me on the character because you, an avatar on screen that's just shaking around with your meme voice, feels like you could grow because this character chopped up a couple of spiders.
And actually take the next step forward. And believe it or not, Zenitsu does. One of my favorite moments of Zenitsu is not when he's an absolute badass and I tear up so
It's the box.
It's the box.
proud of my boy that I relate to so much, scary as that sounds,
That
as
I
he
relate
thunderclaps
to
the hell
so
out of his
much.
opponents, proving that he is a goddamn badass and I love this beautiful boy. But I still think his best moment in the series is when Tanjiro runs
he's
out of
doing the
Demon House
bridge
and
and
Inosuke
screaming.
smelled the demon in Tanjiro's box that Tanjiro clearly cares about. Zenitsu harbors so much gratitude to Tanjiro for actually considering him a semi-friend and taking him along. He puts his life on the line to protect that box. He also smells a demon fragrance or whatever from within it. He also knows
Or whatever from within it.
Hey,
he hears it.
He's
you
not the
dumb-
smell guy, Nux.
or whatever.
Or
yeah, and you believe
what-
he remembers a single line of dialogue of Zenitsu going, I wish to improve?
I no longer believe that.
You shouldn't have to begin with.
I believe the best in people.
You were foolhardy to do so. Okay, you can believe the best in people, but at some point you already know. They've shown themselves. Why would you come back the next day going, I believe the best of you? This is not a new person. This is a known entity.
This is not very good. This is very foreboding for me in the future.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
no.
getting the beyond of me. I'm like, now hold on.
It's gonna be.
Them pancakes was hitting the next day.
It's
and
gonna
then
be.
she was hitting me.
It's gonna be in Cuck City.
It's gonna be horrible.
You're just gonna be on the couch and just like, who's that, babe? Oh, just yoga instructor. Okay. Boy, it sounds like a workout in there.
It's gonna be. Maybe I need to change. maybe this.
Maybe look at Zenitsu.
something weird is going on and knew there was a demon in that box the entire time. He did not question this person that accepted him though, and gripped the box with his body, protecting it from blow after blow, getting all bloodied up purely because of his friend. He didn't ask questions why he was carrying around a demon. He didn't know Tanjiro all that well. But back to the wall, the cowardly Zenitsu had
He spent 40 seconds to a minute and a half explaining something that is simple as it can be done in 12 seconds.
Yes, absolutely. But it has to be more grandiose than that.
But it's just reiterating the same point.
How many times did you say the demon thing was simple? Come on now. You
10,
think Nux
I'd
cares?
say.
You think he gives a half a
more balls than the rest of us. It encapsulates the theme of shonen growth so much to its very core, and as
What did he grow from?
What growth? I guess he just means doing something that
Antithetical to what you've been
Yeah.
doing.
simple of a character design, an
He said simple.
yes he did.
overpowered character that happens to be a coward and learn
Zenitsu is not overpowered. He is of okay strength.
to stand up for himself is, I cannot tear my eyes away from this beautiful boy. I love Zenitsu so much, and I hope this video helped you appreciate him more as well the
No,
dynamics
because
of the
all that
core.
I've gotten from him is he's
as well as
relatable to
dynamics
me.
of the other three.
I
together.
relate to Zenitsu.
I'm glad you did. Somebody clip that.
No!
Trio, and as well as overpowered cowards as a whole. I hope you did enjoy this video. Feel free to leave a like if you did, and subscribe scribble for future anime analysis or satire or combo memery videos with yours truly. Link is in the description. To my Twitter, feel free to follow me there. To my Patreon, feel free to help over there. To my Twitch, I would love to start streaming on Twitch. Please follow me there as well. And to my merch, I finally have merch. I'm very proud of it. Looks dope. Link to that stuff in the description as well.
Come on, that
Directly
big
help
skull
support the
one.
channel. And I really, really appreciate all of you guys sticking around. I hope you enjoyed this video.
I feel like that's one of those. I feel like that's one of those things where if you're big enough, there should never be an instance of you going, I finally have merch. If you're just using one of those services where it's buy and it's made to order or what have
Maybe
you.
he just means he got off of his buns and actually did put it out there.
I mean, but that's an hour of work.
Phil can't do that.
But Phil is a noted lazy bum.
Sure. You know what's weird? I said that earlier. I said Phil doesn't count. He doesn't count in the example, and I just used him as an example.
I mean, but he does count because he's a lazy
Yeah,
bum.
he's horrible.
Wonderful evening. I hope you continue to grow past your personal terrors, whatever they may be. Embody the lightning pussy within you. And remember to stay weird, fam.
Ooh, that was loud. All the same.
Yeah. Has there ever been a Nux that has been outside of the Hall
He
of
has
Fame?
to work to get out of it.
Is that the person you said that needs to do that?
It might have been him or Mark, where it's just like, you start off here.
Yeah, you start at -10. You have to work. Yeah, there's nothing else to say here. Nux Taku was a very bad analyst, and I think he still does some level of analysis to some things. And he is, I would assume, still very bad. But maybe
the Chainsaw Man just came out like 10 days ago.
Maybe he's changed. Maybe he's for the better. Anybody can change. Anybody can improve. Anybody.
And
can
you
be
say
better.
that I put too much faith in people.
I put too much faith in the concept of a person. Anyone can
idea
change.
of a person.
Yeah, anyone can change. Anyone can improve if they so wish to. You with Nux Taku, I believe.
I think that there is enough people and enough examples in the world that shows that people cannot change or are unwilling to change when met with things that work.
Unwilling to change is the problem. They have to be willing.
Yes, and I don't think that Nux is.
There's no reason for him to do so. He's already at the
Exactly.
tippity top
Why?
of whatever he wants to be.
What's the purpose of pulling? Maybe I need to pull back the memory stuff. No. Double down, if anything, because that's what the people are here for. Think they're here for insightful commentary and analysis? No, they're here for the lightning pussy.
Just 20% maybe.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Don't know what we're doing next. Don't know what we're doing Saturday. Maybe we'll do an auction stream Saturday.
We need to get rid of one of those anime wins
Which ones are we doing?
for JoJo.
Which ones are we doing? Oh yeah. We can rock that out. We can do the JoJo, yeah.
Have you seen part 6?
I mean, I've read it. What's
Okay.
the fan? Are you triggering me? It's a different medium now. It's just the different story being told.
I'm just saying, in case you didn't remember, but that's fine.
Yeah, no.
How about a little bit of this instead of the wee woo?
Okay, what is up, everybody? Dark
You should go to when he is talking about putting the towels under the door because he goes closer to the alarm.
2014.
It might be the most replayed.
Has different outfits that she finds in the game, and these
It's
outfits
so
alone
loud.
basically have those loadouts. So she could be a mage, or she could be a warrior, or she could be a dragoon. She can have all these different outfits that she finds during the course of the game that give her different abilities.
It's just blaring.
And the stuff that was in the other games, but there's other new stuff too. Now I got 3 downloadable. Hold on, let me grab the codes here. 3 downloadable costumes for the game.
You can see where he
That,
moves. Yep, there it is.
I actually attempted to to plug up my door, I'm not kidding, with paper towels to see if I could make the noise lower. And the truth of the matter is it has. What you're hearing right now is actually a muffled sound. The alarm is so fucking loud, right, that it would be twice as loud if I hadn't done what I did. So
I've never seen that.
You've never seen it, dude?
And I'm at work. Let's face it, I'm going on break tomorrow. As of tomorrow, which was Wednesday, February 12th.
That's
I'm going on break.
crazy.
I'm not going to be able to work anymore for a week. So I need to work today. So unfortunately, what it's looking like is going to happen is I'm going to have to start the playthrough.
He just sort of places them on the door. What's wrong with him? Why does he think that that's gonna be such sound dampening that it's just like it used to be so much loud? Did it feel with these in half applied paper towel? It's somehow man. It's a regular sound studio in this bit.
We're past the weeble at this point.
Aren't we always? It's never just been a wee-woo and then we're just done.
I am legit shocked you have never seen it.
No, because I always just listen. Why would I have to watch the screen?
Because when somebody says, I put paper towels in my door to dampen the sound, maybe you want to look up.
But I didn't think that he would show it. I thought he just said it.
You didn't hear all that fumbling as he moves the camera?
No. It just does Phil.
That's crazy.
He's sitting there snorting in the mic. Sometimes I just sort of space out.
Which is fair. Which is very...
Hey, I gotta listen to everything. Everything he says. It's impossible. It's not healthy.
There's not enough hours in the day
to just listen and absorb everything that he says. You can't. It's not good for you. Because then that's when I just started to realize, man, he has a lot of just stupid mannerisms.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's when it's just like, nope, you can't do that anymore. Because then once you realize that, that's when it's going to start pissing you off every time they do it. So
yeah,
that's when you got to
eating crackers. We will...
Oh, well, I suppose the alarm was the substitution for the wee-woo.
But the alarm is past. We're 3 minutes past the alarm. It can no longer be the end of the video.
The wee-woo has expired.
The wee-woo has
we
expired.
Need a new wee-woo because we can't just end it. Because then it'd be like, wait, the wee-woo was back there. So it doesn't really count if it just ends and it's like, oh, I guess it did end. So now the formal ending. Corey, was it Corey or Eric? No. Wee-woo.
I want to hear what was it?
Corey, I think, no, it was definitely Eric. Eric was just like, he had a good idea of the actual ending proper, and it's Vegeta and Piccolo on the rock.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, that could work. And I was like, but I'm here now, and I didn't do it, and I don't think I'm ever gonna do it. So we're just gonna be wee woo boys forever because hover over the button as I say wee woo so we can end this wee woo.